This is how we do. That's me. That's right. That's me. That's right. That's me. Damn right. This is how we do. That's me. That's right. That's me. That's right. That's me. Damn right.
Hello and welcome back here for round 4 of the Irish Drift Series 2025, proudly brought to you by Red Bull Energy and Lucky Day Competitions. We're just after qualifying. We've seen some unbelievable runs and we're about to get into the battle stages of today. My name's Adam Driver. I'm joined here by the one, the only, the short man, Mike Fitz.
Thanks very much, Adam. You love getting that in there, but how bad?
Every time, have to.
Indeed, yeah. Looking like some tasty battles in this top 32 again. This is the pointy end of the season. Looking forward to seeing exactly how this one turns out, and it's going to set us up for a fantastic finale, I'm sure. But you know what? We're here at a disused airfield, or former World War II airfield at least. Definitely not disused because we're using it, but the weather is good, the sun is shining, we got plenty wind there to get rid of tire smoke, and I think it's set to be, from looking at qualifying there with the different chassis that we're seeing the likes of Nathan Walsh there get comfortable in the little MX-5, we're seeing a couple of David versus Goliath battles, and I think we're going to have it all here in the top 32 onwards.
Absolutely, Mike, I agree with you. As I look here on our screen for the top 32, we've got some insane battles, and we're kicking off with a great one of the young Alex Butler and Eddie Power, the Power in the Tower, who will be chasing down the young gun Alex Butler. Alex Butler, who didn't actually even make any points on his first qualifying run due to gearbox issues, but made his way back out after completely changing the gearbox within that 45 minutes to maybe 50-60 minute bracket at most, and getting that car started to get back out there in one run, topping qualifying with an insane score, which was, I think it was 95.3 or give or take, something around that, but it was an insane score is what it was, Mike. And we got some other great battles as well, from young guns to
seasoned semi-pros.
Seasoned semi-pros, you would say. From the likes of Jamie Hynes, a young man who's only competing this year for his first year as well, Mike.
Yeah, definitely one to watch for the future is young Jamie Hynes, and flying high there, super high in qualifying in fact, pipped by another young gun, Alex Butler. 3 junior drivers topping qualifying. Where else would you see it in the world? I'm not sure. It's absolutely nuts what's going on here in Ireland with the talent coming up through the ranks. As you can see here on the screen, guys, if you're watching from home, watching the live stream, we have all the battle bracket here up in front of you. And definitely looking forward to seeing how it's going to play out. I love Pro2, Adam. It's always genuinely so entertaining. It's never predictable, and it always throws up so much entertainment and so many so many surprises, I guess, really. And you have always the David versus Goliath car battles as well. You'd have anything from 325 BMWs up against 800 brake horsepower 2Js and everything in between. So always entertaining and always plenty talking points.
You're definitely right with saying it's entertaining, because throughout the series so far this year we've seen so many head-turning moments where we've seen the low-power cars actually beat the higher-power cars due to weather issues or even just car malfunctions as well. Along with, as you're saying, there's a lot of junior drivers who are really high up in the ranks, with the top 3 drivers after qualifying being juniors, and some rookies as well, first-time competitors, putting some really high scores and knocking those seasoned Pro 2 professors down on the bracket.
Exactly. So, I think we're almost ready to rock. We'll be warming cars there in a second. If we do look down through and to down through the battle bracket and to go into a couple of specifics in the battles, Alex Butler, highest placed qualifier, takes on Eddie Power, who we will be joined with here in the tower tomorrow, the Power in the Tower. He's the Power on track at the moment. Alex Butler, junior driver, topping qualifying, versus Eddie Power in 32nd position. Eddie's a rookie driver, of course, so it's a rookie versus a junior to kick us off in top 32, as we have a look here at our there's a diffing area here as well at Bishopscourt, Diff and Drift. Surprise. And something for everybody here, guys. So if you're anywhere in the locality, be sure to get over to Bishopscourt, and you can take your street car, provided you bring some tyres to get home safely on for the rear, and enjoy a day out here and just basically enjoy your car. So next battle up is Ryan Nelli versus Dave Flaherty. Very close one on paper. Blejetski versus Kitus. And all of those will be very, very entertaining. Hatton is the last battle bracket in the whole bracket against Stuart Gordon. I'm looking forward to that one as well. So it's going to be a lot to play for heading into the final round. You want to be getting a strong result, number one, for that confidence heading into the final round, and number two, obviously, to stamp your authority on the points race coming into the final round. And we are seeing Alex Butler looking really good now in the junior championship. And Blejetski as well, looking very good in the rookie championship, but it's all still to play for in all 3 championships.
Absolutely, Mike. It could turn absolutely any way. We never know what way it's going to go. As you can see here in the bracket for our top 32, Alex Butler will be taking on Eddie Power. Eddie Power being our 32nd qualifier and Alex Butler being the first qualifier. So if you don't already get it, it'll basically be our first against the 32nd, our second against the 31st, third against 30th, and so on till we get to the middle of the bracket. This gives the drivers something to drive for and why they want to get points on the board, because theoretically, the higher you score, the easier battle you should have. So once it comes into the middle of the board where you're 15th and 16th, you're literally going against a person that might have even equaled with you on points.
Absolutely, but it doesn't always work out that way. As we mentioned in qualifying, sometimes you can just get unlucky and, you know, one of the top drivers, one of the top battlers might not have had ideal qualifying. We saw quite a lot of the top championship guys actually not really qualifying that highly, including Luke Telly, who was way down the order. So let's see. Dean Davey also barely qualified in 28th position. He is up against 5th place qualifier Matt Darren. Molly Kerr gets a tough one with Ericus Navitzkos. Maybe Ericus Navitzkos gets a tough one with Molly Kerr. I'm not sure.
You never know.
Yeah, it's you know, Molly Kerr out qualified him by 7 positions, and her reward was a guy who's up there in the Pro2 championship with years, who could have actually taken a pro license this year but elected not to. So guys, it is all to play for, and a spot on top of the podium here at IDS round 4 is to play for, as well as those all important points for the championship. So we are ready to rock for battle action here at IDS round 4 2025. Alex Butler leads us in. Eddie Power with a big initiation from Eddie Power, instantaneously drama, Pro2 drama from the get-go. First corner shows up the drama, and you know what, okay, Eddie came in there too hot, lost the rear, hit Alex a little bit of a shoulder bar GA style, and could Alex have kept going, or did Eddie push him off track? I'm not sure.
I'm not too sure, Mike. We're kind of in an awkward situation here. All we can see is the two drivers came down with full commitment, but Eddie just had a bit too much power and they come into the side of Alex Butler. There was definitely some contact
some
there.
Shenanigans.
Some shenanigans. I like the pun, Mike. As to who's at fault, I'm not too sure. But we'll leave that to our judges to figure that one out.
We will, and if you're watching on YouTube, guys, get involved, get in the comments, let your opinion be known. We'll keep an eye out for your comments there, and of course we're all drift judges really at heart, aren't we? And we're just hearing a bit of an issue here. Is Eddie on fire possibly? The marshals are absolutely getting involved there pretty quickly. So just being sure that there isn't a fire under Eddie's car as I bring up the YouTube here.
Absolutely. When we said it was going to be entertaining, Mike, it was straight in entertaining, so it was. So from what I can hear here, Mike, it looks like Eddie is having car failure after that. That could have been the reason as to why there was contact. I'm not too sure, but I'm sure we'll find out more from our track marshal here, Townie, up here in the tower with us.
Tony in the tower.
Townie in the tower.
Tony in the tower is right.
Village on the track.
Village on the track is right. So Eddie Power is out of the car. Hopefully all is good with that. Possibly was the cause of his issue. Maybe he lost drive there and didn't have the forward motion in order to get the car actually drifting rather than just sliding into the corner there. Maybe couldn't get the car pointed forward in order to get into formation there with Alex Butler. I'm not sure, we're just speculating obviously, but the judges will be having a look at this one. You know, I know Alex got hit. Maybe he could have stayed going, maybe he could have stayed in it, but not sure if he got hit on a front wheel there as well possibly. It looked like the centre of his car though that got the hit from Eddie. Yeah,
from what I could see there, Mike, there was a bit of a scrub in the centre of the rear passenger door on Alex's car. Unfortunately not in the way you'd want it to be, but hopefully all is okay for the one and only Eddie Power down below, who seems to be looking into the engine bay and trying to figure out what is the story. We do see the recovery truck, so unfortunately it doesn't look like it's going to be too positive, Mike. Doesn't look like it's going to be too great. We can see all the power coming out, and Eddie there as he pushes the car backwards.
Yeah, that's why they call him Eddie Power, because he's a powerful man. No need of any winch there or anything. Guys, round of applause there for our commentator. He'll be in action tomorrow. Mr. Eddie Power looks like he might need recovery. The legend that is the Power in the tower. He's the power on the track at the moment, but unfortunately looks like mechanical issue there and that might be an automatic passage for Alex Butler into the top 16. And if so, we'll say nothing yet, because Eddie Power will have the option of a 5-minute rule, of course. Each competitor gets the option of a 5-minute rule in order to fix their car. Once their pit crew put their hands on the car, their 5 minutes start, and they have 5 minutes in to leave their pit box. If they do get it fixed in that time, they will be allowed to complete the second run. But
even at that though, Mike, it means so far their scores is a 10-0 towards Alex. So unless Alex made a mistake then within the chase, it could really...
Yeah, I mean, let's confirm it with the judges first, but I would have to agree. But I would have to agree, but let's just double confirm everything with the judges. But yeah,
of course.
I would think that you're correct in your assumption there, Adam. And yeah, just double checking now, I think there might have been a little bit of oil left on track, so it definitely looks like a mechanical for Eddie Power and might have caused the issue there, lack of drive, and just caused the collision with Alex Butler. But as I was just saying there, Adam, Alex Butler, if I bring up the championship points here in my phone, in the Pro 2 championship, Alex Butler is about 7th or 8th in the... Yeah, he is 8th in the Pro 2 championship.
That's the overall championship.
That's the overall Pro 2 championship. He is winning the junior championship coming into this round, and he qualified first, so therefore we can do the maths there.
He wins, yeah.
We can do the maths there. And he is in 8th position in the overall Pro 2 championship, I believe. 8th or not? Yeah, 8th. So there's 100 points available for a win if his gearbox holds up and he keeps going the way he's going. Who's going to rule him out of actually, getting a Pro 2 podium finish at the end of this season as well, heading into the last round?
It's very possible, Mike. It's very possible as you try to add it up there. He's definitely a young gun to keep an eye on. He's a very talented young driver, and I would not doubt it or be surprised in any single way if he did end up in a podium spot for the end of the championship.
Yeah, and he always looks, if he can keep the car reliable. I know he was braking half shaft in Watergrass Hill the last time, but if he can get the reliability, he looked very good in Watergrass Hill, where our Pro 2 final is on the 24th of August. So yeah, let's keep an eye on that one as it develops, but we will bring you news on Eddie Power as we get it as well, guys, as we go back to the line. And it is underneath the Red Bull ring, it is Ryan Nelli, Pro 2 driver, to face off against David Flaherty, who's a Pro 2 rookie. And David Flaherty looking very good and very consistent in qualifying.
Absolutely, we saw 2 runs from him that were very, very consistent, as you said, Mike, and that car has a lot of power and has everything it needs to get around this track the way it needs to be for the judges to give him the best score possible. But will the young Ryan Nelli be able to keep up with him and do everything he can to put it on that door, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, Ryan Nelli is looking for all the world like a guy who's heading for the pro class, in my opinion. Nice line there from Ryan. David Flaherty on the inside of the track can't quite keep with the pace either of the Sylvia of Ryan Nelli. Now he looks for the door but doesn't quite find it. Maybe not the proximity the judges want to see here from the chase car. Ryan Nelli doing pretty much textbook qualifying line, of course. The judges that's exactly what they want to see. They want to see the qualifying line from the lead car. They want to see the chase car mirroring the lead car as closely as possible. Should the lead car deviate from the qualifying line, it is up to the chase car to run the qualifying line if he wants to. But most of them just go for the door instinctively anyway, so you just tend to see mirror battles over and over. So, in terms of Ryan Nelli, okay, he was a little bit off 3 there. The judges wanting to see this. If you're watching from home, you can see what the judges are watching. They're watching the same replay as you, and I can just hear in my right ear here, they've requested that part of the replay, and I think Ryan Nelli might have missed out of zone 3, and no big deduction there, but
it wouldn't be a huge one, Mike, but it definitely will affect the score a small bit. Although the proximity probably wasn't best on what the chase driver was hoping for, it wasn't the worst, as in it was very consistent throughout the whole track. So if they had another opportunity, that it could be a completely different story. Either way, we're going to go into it again, this time with David Flaherty in the lead and young Ryan Nelli in the chase position. David Flaherty a lot more close proximity this time as Ryan Nelli transitions right on the bumper and pushes right up onto the door of David Flaherty in his BMW, trying to keep it as close as possible. He knows if he keeps that proximity close that he has this in the bag, but David Flaherty does a lot better line through zone 3 pushing him, but Ryan Nelli is right pushes him off the track, Mike. There's a bit of contact there.
You know what, he didn't have to, he had that one in the bag. We'll have to see what happened here again, but drama in the second battle. as so often happens in Pro 2, the drama comes thick and fast. Look at this, Ryan Nelli. I mean, Flaherty had a wheel off there. Nelli was pretty much right on him all the way around. Popped through the transition. Very nice line there from both drivers. And Nelli just seemed to power through the transition, and maybe that's a deceleration zone. That's a point where the judges would have said in briefing this morning that you have to decelerate and just be aware that the lead car is going to be decelerating here. So I don't know. This could be a get out of jail free card for.
We can see the replay here as well.
Did Flaherty over rotate? Did he brake excessively? I mean, he did.
Flaherty wasn't on too much angle where he probably should have been on a tad bit more coming into zone 4. I'd imagine, Mike.
Yeah, maybe there was quite a collision, to be honest. So. Let's just see it in real time. Watch where Nelli transitions here now. Does he transition in the wrong part of the track? Does he do something funny? Watch the tire smoke as well from the rear of Flaherty's car. Oh, it's so hard to see.
See, at the same time, it kind of looks like Ryan Nelli straightens a small bit when he goes into the side of Flaherty. But could that be due to trying to deal with the speed difference and the decel zone? I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, initially you have to. I mean, anybody's going to see this initially as the fault of the chase car, but. Like you said, it doesn't look like Nelli actually dialed on a lot of angle through the transition, and maybe was quite straight heading into that transition, and as a result might have carried a little bit too much speed, whereas if you dialed on the angle it will automatically scrub quite a lot of speed off.
Of course. As we can see here on the stream, young Ryan Nelli will be taken off the track by a tow rig, so I'm not too sure, Mike, was it a little failure within the car? Did an arm snap or something like that, or did just have too much grip coming in there? I'm not too sure, but I'm sure we'll figure it out within a moment and hear what the judge's decision was on that.
Yep, judges still watching this one quite intently. I mean, Flaherty definitely came off throttle there, but he's entitled to do so. You should be straight back on throttle through the transition, but let's just see, does he... It's a very tight one, Adam. It's genuinely quite a tight one.
I'm not too sure, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, Flaherty does slow.
He definitely does for sure, but as you said, it is a decel zone.
It is a decel zone, but he slows quite a lot, so... It might be, as we often say, it might be 6 1/2 dozen and the other. Maybe the lead car just slowed up quite a lot, and the chase car maybe... I mean, Nelli was quite straight, wasn't he?
Nelli was quite straight, and you can see there in the transition. This is the live replay that our judges are watching as well, so this is where they are requesting to see that again. So we can see on the transition as David Flaherty just transitioned to come into zone 4. He is still not fully at angle as to where he was, so maybe it counts as a small bit of a late transition, meaning Ryan Nelli would have come in just a bit too ambitious, I presume, and would have caused the contact, maybe got lost in the smoke here. As we can see, the windshield is basically covered in smoke as they're on transition, and we can overhear him saying there wasn't too much angle there from the lead car.
Yeah, I mean, you can see that he's still on throttle. Yeah, so guys, if you are down here on trackside and you want to see what we're watching here, just pop out the phones, fire on the Irish Drift Series YouTube, and you can see these replays in slow motion as well as we are looking at them here. The judges are watching these replays in the tower, the same live stream as you are watching. So if you want to see what the judges are watching here, multiple replays, a couple of different angles as well, just bring out the phones, have a look at the YouTube. And we are hearing news on Eddie Power.
We are, Mike. Unfortunately, Eddie Power will not be coming back out for his second run against young gun Alex Butler. So Alex Butler will be going through straight to his top 16 battle. We'll be seeing who that will be coming up against next, though.
Yeah, and usually, guys, we have news on the next result, and usually we get both drivers down on track with the marshal there to give the result. Obviously, the cars have been recovered off the track here, but we can announce that the winner of this battle, this controversial battle, is actually going to be Ryan Nelli, goes through to the top 16. So we're just going to go very quickly to our head judge, Kieran Hynes. Of course, we never mentioned our judges are the one and only Tomas Falvey. His son, Conor Falvey, was a current Drift Masters European Series competitor, top 10 in the championship in Drift Masters at the moment, and the one and only Kieran Hynes, of course, the godfather of Irish drifting. And it's like being in Mass when Kieran does an explanation, so I can't wait.
Absolutely. Well, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Drift Gods, over to Kieran.
Okay. When you first view, and when we first watched it straight away, we went, Nelli obviously just just ploughed straight into him, you know. But watching back the replay and watching the replay a few times, there's one thing we asked the drivers to do, and we showed it in the briefing. When you come out of clip 3 and you do the transition, that transition has to be done as soon as you can and get the car settled to go into the final zone. But as it happens, if you watched the run in the replay, the lead car actually stays on lock for a long time. And a few people done this in qualifying, and we were marking him down for it. When he does transition, he's almost barely gets the car transitioned just before the zone. So he has to check up a little bit, and a lot of drivers were doing that in qualifying. They were checking up, and they weren't coming on throttle until about halfway around the zone. You could turn around and say, well, look, Nelli was on a little angle, and maybe that's why he hit him. But what we don't know that for sure. What we do know is that car should have had that transition done sooner, and should have been in that zone and on throttle sooner. So we feel it was the lead car's fault for that he stayed on lock too long and he was too late transitioning, and I think he put Ryan Nelli in a position where he couldn't avoid hitting him.
Thank you very much, Kieran Hynes. So there you have it, guys. The lead car deemed at fault for that one. Ryan Nelli advancing to the top 16 as a result. And that will be all she wrote for Dave Flaherty. And we move it along to the line once again. It is under the Red Bull ring. It is Bartek Blejetski, who had a fantastic qualifying session against Matas Karitis.
Two Pro2 drivers going head to head.
Pro2 rookies.
Pro2 rookies, sorry. My
Absolutely.
Apologies. Going head to head here, so they will be two great drivers as well. So this will be definitely one to be interested in. Either way, we're going to kick off. Bartek is in the lead.
Bartek is in the lead, the higher qualifier to lead us in. And it's an all BMW battle. Slight waiver in the chase position there from Matas Karitis, who rebuilt an engine during the week and just about got back out with the JZ powered BMW. Now Bartek Blejetski with the naturally aspirated BMW having all the pace here. Matas Karitis now looking for the door. Does he find it? He does start to find it over, cut the track a little bit as a result, and you know what, Bartek there, Adam, just seemed to have, on the initiation, he just seemed to, coming out of the first corner, I think Matas just ran a little bit wide and Bartek got the run on him from there on out.
Absolutely, we can see here in the replay throughout zone 2 that Matas does look like he's struggling to keep the angle and the pace of Bartek that's in the lead. But as you said, Mike, he did make a big dive for zone 1 and came a bit shallow into the zone, so that could have been what messed it up for him, because around zone 4 we can see he does get back home to the door, Bartek. Either way, we're going to swap. We also have this debate every round what we're going to say. We're going to swap it around, and this time Matas is going to be in the lead, followed by Bartek.
Yeah, indeed he is, and we have it all still to play for, that's for sure. Double BMWs coming down the track towards us, and a lovely initiation there from Matas Karitis. Now Bartek almost runs right, just about keeps his BMW on track. Matas now gets the advantage, but look at the pace of Bartek as he makes the BMW absolutely jump onto the door of Matas Karitis.
I don't know where Bartek's after getting this pace from, Mike, because he did not seem this fast throughout qualifying, but he definitely has it now. He has the torque in that BMW to push right up on top of the door of Matas. Mike, I'm not too sure what way that's going to go. It was a great run in the chase there from Bartek. Few small fumbles in the lead from Matas, but overall it could go either way.
Yeah, I think the proximity though is going to be the defining factor there, and we do have a result, and we can announce as they get out of the cars. Guys, feel free to give them a round of applause. We can announce going through to the top 16. It's Bartek Blejetski goes through to the top 16. He has the proximity there over Matas Karitis over the course of the 2 runs. And Matas will be delighted with his weekend after rebuilding that engine. But Bartek is the man who progresses to the top 16.
Absolutely. Well, up next we're going to 2 unbelievable drivers. It's the one and only young Daniel Devine, who's sitting second in the Pro2 Championship at the moment, who will be chased down by one of the most powerful cars on the grid this weekend, Nathan Corcoran, in his 2JZ E46. This will definitely be an interesting one, Mike.
Yeah, always interesting in the Lucky Day competitions, Red Bull Irish Drift Series, and this one has big championship ramifications. Danny Devine has to win this one to stay in the championship fight. Look at this beautiful drone footage live here from Bishopscourt. Perfect drone placement on the rear of Nathan Corcoran's BMW there. Perfect line from Danny Devine here. Now look at this, Adam. Danny Devine is laying down that perfect lead line that the judges want to see. Now Nathan Corcoran sacrifices zone 3 in order to try to find the proximity, but Danny Devine sticks to the qualifying line, sticks in a 90-something qualifier there, and the judges will reward him for that great lead.
Absolutely, Mike. Absolutely. You can see here Nathan Corcoran really has all the power to keep up with Daniel Devine. He made a small bit of a blip there throughout zone 1, but he get right back up on the door, Daniel Devine. Daniel Devine was giving him no excuses by putting on an unbelievable run here, as we can watch the replays, getting right into all the zones. It's all about shallow on zone 3, but not too bad at all. Zone 4, he gets it absolutely perfectly here, as we can see from the great drone footage on the live stream. But either way, we're going to swap it around now. Will the young Daniel Devine have the pace to keep up with that powerful E46 drove by Nathan Corcoran?
Yeah, definitely huge power in the car, but I'm not sure if he had the pace of Devine. Double 2J battle here, quite different chassis, of course, but Nathan seemed to have to, be quite shallow there around the lot of the track in order to try to maintain proximity. We all do it. It's quite instinctive, but the judges don't like it. But look at this. Denny Devine is way back here. Did he miss a gear? Not sure, guys. The championship. This is big decider for the championship. Denny Devine is desperately trying to find the door of Corcoran. Did he miss a gear? I'm not sure if he misshifted or something happened there. He was having gearbox issues. He might be hanging on for dear life in this car. Now he does have the pace. He does find the quarter panel of Corcoran and really pushes him across the line and puts him under pressure. But I don't know, hopefully for Devine it's not too little too late, but it might be, Adam, that this is very tight.
But see, Mike, then again at the same time, Nathan Corcoran's lead line, while it wasn't bad at all, it was not great. It was not in the zone as much as Daniel Devine was when he was in the lead. So this go either way. We're going to have to wait for our judges to get a decision on it. You can see here on the replay, Daniel Devine does get back that pace and does get that proximity closer for the second half of the run. But still here, though, as we watch the replay, Nathan Corcoran is not filling them zones the way he should be.
Yeah, as you said there, I think maybe Denny Devine's lead run might come into play here. His lead run was so textbook and pretty much, in the 90s in qualifying terms. I mean, I think it might be like, in old school terms, 7-3, 7-3 almost. It might be a one more time situation here because Devine had a significant advantage on the first one because Corcoran cut the track so much, then swapped him around. Corcoran got the whole shot, got out of the blocks. Not sure if Denny lost missed the gear or lost drive off the line or something, but definitely had to make up a huge gap there.
Absolutely. Proximity will definitely be a massive factor on what the judges choose for this one, I would say, Mike. But as well, at the same time, we're going to have to go down to the line of the two drivers. Daniel, when he was in the lead, had a perfect line, as you said. It ran the qualifying line exactly what the driver or the judges would like to see. It was definitely a score that would have been up in the 90s, I'd imagine. But Nathan Corcoran's unfortunately was not as smooth and fluid as what Danny's was.
Yeah, as we see the two boys there discussing having an old chat and trying to look at get some information as to their fates as the judges go back for a look here on the line from the drone. If you are on your phone or you are watching it at home live, you will be able to see what we're looking at here from this drone footage as it takes off from the airfield, aptly enough. And just seeing what happened here out of the blocks. Was there any issue with the start line or anything? So both cars leave the line at the same time. I mean, Nathan Corcoran just looks like he gets out of the blocks.
Are they waiting to see here if he skipped the light, Mike?
Yeah, Nathan Corcoran is moving before the light goes green there. If you actually look at it here, Nathan Corcoran actually left the line before the light went green, I would say, correct?
I wouldn't be making a decision, Mike.
Yeah, it looks like Nathan Corcoran might have just moved the car before the start light went green, so that might be all she wrote. Yeah, and we can announce going through to the top 16. It's Danny Devine keeps his championship alive by going through to the top 16. Just looking back at the replay there, the judges spotted it. Nathan Corcoran appeared to leave the line just before the lights went green, and that is what caused the separation between both drivers.
Absolutely, Mike. We spoke about this before. The chase driver does have the opportunity to jump the line just a small bit, so to make sure that they have the pace and have the opportunity to get the proximity as close as possible. But not the lead car,
exactly.
As you were saying. They have to wait until that light goes green before they can leave the grid line.
Absolutely. So that's that one decided pretty cleanly. And so going through, it is Danny Devine, number 9, goes through to the top 16. So we move it along to the start line, and it is under the Red Bull ring. At the Look at the Competitions Red Bull Irish Drift Series, it is Peter Malloy against Luke Telly. Peter Malloy dark and mysterious there on the live stream. Luke Telly very friendly.
Very friendly as always. Always a big smile from Luke Telly.
Yeah, so in terms of horsepower here, guys, and chassis, this is very different. You've got on one hand about 300 odd brake horsepower with Peter Malloy, if even, depending on the day and how hot it is or cold it is, I'd say. And then Luke Telly's got 2J power GT86. It's kind of an old school way of doing things versus the newer way of doing things, and it's going to be a very, very interesting battle because Malloy is actually by far and away the higher qualifier here in 4th position, and he will lead us in. The advantage being the lead car is always the higher qualifier, because then he knows how hard he has to push in the chase, because his spotter will tell him how hard you have to go.
Absolutely. Luke Telly doesn't look on form today, but things could have changed throughout lunchtime there, and hopefully it has. He comes right up on the door, Peter Malloy. Luke Telly definitely has the pace and the power to push up on Malloy, so he does, Mike.
Yeah, big entry there from Telly. As you just mentioned, he looked off form, but that entry didn't. A little bit of a mistake after that, and he goes too close, gets caught behind Malloy. And Luke Telly's in a bit of trouble here. He's in a lot of trouble here. He's all over the track in order to try to stay with Malloy, and unfortunately, Adam, it's a fine line, aggression versus finesse here, and I think the aggression won the day here, and Telly just got very messy there in the chase position, trying to put that battle to bed, which he had to do anyway, because Malloy's not going to make any mistakes.
Absolutely. Luke Telly was coming in there with full aggression. He wasn't holding back, but you could see here in the transition going into zone 3 when Luke Telly went on angle behind Malloy for the transition. It just looks like he caught a bit too much, leaving the proximity to gain away from the lead driver, and the lead driver taking a bit of a gap. But he did get right up on the door, but he will be marked for that, unfortunately. Either way, we're going to swap it around this time, and it could be a complete different story, because we really saw how the power of Luke Telly's car could bring it up onto the door no matter what of Malloy's car. This time it's the opposite way around. The lower powered car is in the chase.
Yeah, but I don't know what Peter Malloy does in the chase position. He can just seem to find the pace in the BMW in the chase position as well. Maybe not against the top powered cars, and this Bishopscourt track is actually quite a good leveler, apart from the drag between zone 1 and 2, which does require a little bit of power, and the cars can spring through that bit. But for the rest of the track, it's quite a nice twin battle track, and it does even up cars quite well. So I don't see a huge advantage for Telly here in terms of horsepower, winning the day here. It's not Mondello Park.
I know, Mike, but we're about to find out as Luke Telly is in the lead. He gives a big flick initiation into zone 1, getting zone 1. Absolutely beautiful. That's more like what the Luke Telly we're used to seeing. But as you said, Mike, Peter Malloy knows how to get the pace out at BMW. He's still keeping it there with the smiley man, Luke Telly, pushing it up on his door. Oh, contact, just a small bit of contact, Mike, but it doesn't look like it affects the lead driver much at all. Luke Telly is there, but Peter Malloy is on the door of Luke Telly. Such a gap in power, but they still had such a close proximity throughout that. Yeah,
it's entertaining when we're smiling ourselves here in the tower. You can hear the crowd clapping, without being prompted for that kind of a battle, and you have to admire. I mean, Luke Telly, really nice lead there that time, to be fair, but Malloy just dialed on the aggression when he had to, dialed it back a little bit, then dialed it back on, and I think overall just a great measured chase there from Malloy.
Absolutely, Mike, absolutely. I'd love to be seeing Luke Telly going through, but unfortunately it doesn't look like it's going that way. The win goes to the one and only Peter Malloy, who really is on form this weekend. Is Peter Malloy making his way to the top 16.
So great run there. The local man, a County Down man as well. So a local man taking a place in the top 16. Luke Telly's championship hopes take a little bit of a beating there, but he did get some points on the board, at least by qualifying, and it's been a funny round so far. The consistency for the top boys is not there as such. So it's still all to play for. Now we move it along. It is Molly Kerr from up the road in Ballymoney against Erika's Navitzkos, who is in the top 10 in the Pro 2 Championship. Now Molly Kerr is looking better and better every round we see her. Is she going to be outgunned here with the huge quite a lot of horsepower that Navitzkos has, or does it actually matter? Are we seeing that this track here in Bishopscourt is a good leveler of cars?
I'm not too sure, Mike. We're about to find out. Molly Kerr, who's been unbelievably consistent throughout today, all throughout practice, and even with her 2 qualifying runs getting the exact same score in that 350Z, is coming up against Eric Navitzkos. As you said, he's a great contender for the championship this year.
Yeah, but so Molly's the higher qualifier here in 13th position and leads us in as a result in the first run, so she's going to have the advantage of knowing how hard she has to push. But I don't know Molly Kerr that well, but I have spoken to her a few times, and I think she's like her brother Harry. She has 100% or nothing at all. But look at the absolute pinpoint run here in the lead position from Molly Kerr. Navitzkos now seems to be able to almost play with the quarter panel of the 350Z, but he's not close enough, I would say, and it's a beautiful lead run from Molly there, but Navitzkos definitely had the pace. You could see him holding back the BMW, but he didn't use the pace to really put it on the door.
Absolutely, Mike. He could be playing it safe. He knows that he has the pace on Molly Kerr, so maybe he's holding back until he's in the lead position to really send that car as hard as he can around the track here. We can see the drive in the lead position there from Molly Kerr. It was so consistent, same as what her qualifying runs were like. She was filling all the zones the exact way the judges want to see it, and Eric Navitzkos was really holding off. You could even see it there around zone 4. He was clutch kicking that car just to get at that final bit because he was low into the revs.
And another thing, he wasn't quite out to the outside of the track. If he wanted to be leaving that little bit of a gap, he should be on that perfect line as well, but he was quite shallow but not on the door while he did it, so I think he might live to regret this. Now his pace might turn the tide for him here a little bit compared to Molly's 350Z, but we'll know in about 45 seconds.
Absolutely, we'll have to see how Molly Kerr deals with the difference in pace for the two cars, which seems to be dealing with it as well so far. She was a bit shallow for the zone, but Eric Navitzkos is filling all the zones the way he should be, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, Molly Kerr now is in trouble here in terms of proximity. She just doesn't quite have the pace of Navitzkos, and we see a big gap opening up here. Now this might be a situation where the 350Z is just outgunned in competition a little bit by the turbo BMW power of Navitzkos.
Unfortunately, Mike, it does look like one of them situations where power is really just what you needed in that situation, and it might lead things towards Eric Navitzkos taking the win on this. I'm not too sure. We'll have to get the official result in. You can see Molly Kerr is cutting the track just a small bit around the zone, still trying to get herself in there, but unfortunately it wasn't enough as Eric Navitzkos got the proximity away from the young Molly Kerr.
Yeah, well, we do have a result, and we can announce going through to the top 16. It's Ericus Navitzkos goes through to the top 16. Molly Kerr just a little bit outgunned there in the 350Z, but she can hold her head high. Great pair of runs there from her, just didn't have enough legs in the 350 to progress, unfortunately. But Ericus,
I'd love to see her driving her brother's car.
Yeah, maybe that's what should happen.
Might see it for the final round for the
Might see
Pro2.
it.
There's
We
no
might.
polls that weekend, so there's no excuses.
I might see it, exactly. So Matt Derrin is on the line, and he is taking on Dean Davey. Matt Derrin, 5th place qualifier, versus Dean Davey, who qualified in 28th position. So Matt Derrin having a far better qualifier than the elder Davey brother. And you know, again, leading is a huge advantage. Leading first is a huge advantage because your spotter can say Dean Davey makes a mistake here theoretically, and Matt Derrin will know then that he doesn't have to push so hard in the second run. So leading first is a huge advantage. Early initiation there from Davey, gets the 180SX, slid nicely into formation with Derrin. Really liking that initiation there, nice and early. Both drivers now get it into the outside zone 2. Davey's right on the door to BMW. He's playing with the BMW here for pace. Both drivers transition back. Lovely line from Derrin. He's right on the wall. Davey misses outer zone 3. So that'll even him up a little bit. Davey also sacrifices outer zone 4 while Derrin is right on the outside. So a little bit of, you know, even though Davey was on the door through the last zone, but still, I think a nicer line by Derrin all round, but good really good proximity in fact
Great
from Davey.
proximity, Mike. Great proximity. You can really see how the Davies know how to do it. He's pushing up right as close as he can throughout the chase position, right up onto Matt Derrin's door. Matt's filling out all the zones perfectly, the way it should be, but the Davies doing it the way he does it.
He is indeed. That's what the Davies do. That's how the Davies do it, is what we say.
Absolutely.
And Matt Derrin now becomes the chase driver under the Red Bull ring here, and Pro2 action always interesting, guys, always dramatic and always having surprises and crazy stuff thrown up, and today already has been no different, and we're only about 3/4 of the way through the first battle bracket on the left hand side. So let's see what the rest of the evening holds for us as Dean Davey fires it in. Matt Derrin doesn't have the proximity. He has to get closer here because Davey was right on his door. It just looks like, you know, Adam, the 180SX seems to have the pace here.
Definitely looks like it has the pace. There's a lot more fluid going around that track from what I can see, but Matt Derrin is pushing that BMW as much as he can. A great car, great looking car. He cuts the track just a small bit on zone 4 there to get up in the door, but it wasn't enough, Mike. I'm not too sure what way this will go. Matt Derrin was a lot wider and following and mimicking the line of the chase driver a lot more throughout his chase position, but it was more the case of the proximity. It was a lot wider.
Yeah, I would agree exactly. Derrin seemed to have a better line. slightly better line at least, but the proximity was just absolutely non-existent by today's standards at least.
Yeah, you can really see that Matt was kind of pushing and making a big dive when they come to each bend to get up in the door of young Dean Davey, but unfortunately that only just made him lose ground a bit more.
So we do have a result, and dropping in, it is Dean Davey goes through to the top 16. Matt Darren not quite having the proximity, but a great qualifying session for Matt Darren, and he will take some championship points from that also.
Before he goes, we have to mention the beard, Mike. Can't go without mentioning the great beard.
Yeah, great beard. Well done, Matt, on the beard. So Dean Davey goes through to the top 16, and to face off against Dean Davey, it's going to be one of these two guys. It's going to be Marcus Heinen or Giedrius Belkus. So Marcus Heinen qualifying in 12th, Giedrius in 21st position.
Absolutely, Mike. Marcus Heinen Jr. being the Pro 2 driver, and Giedrius Belkus being the Pro 2 rookie driver. So you would imagine it's going to go Marcus Heinen's way, but it could go either way at this moment. Marcus Heinen is the higher qualifier in this situation, but that doesn't mean nothing, Mike, when it comes to battles. Anything could happen.
Anything could happen, exactly. And we are ready to rock. Kevin, our start line marshal, giving both drivers the thumbs up. He lights them up, and the lights go green, and Marcus Heinen leaves the line, followed very, very closely, I'm sure, by Giedrius Belkus. Now both drivers come down the hill here in Bishopscourt. Heinen fires it in. Giedrius needs to get a little bit closer to him. Lovely line there from Heinen in the lead position. Remember, Giedrius just runs a little bit wide there, maybe pushing the E90 a little bit too hard in order to try to find the door of the S13, and big gap opening up now, Adam.
Massive gap, Mike, as you can see the chase car is not even in the frame for throughout zone 3, but the line from the lead driver is absolutely beautiful. As we can see here on the replay, the initiation from Marcus Heinen Jr. was absolutely beautiful. Zone 1, he fulfilled it perfectly, and gone into zone 2, there's a dive onto the door, but it looks kind of there. He drops tyres there, Mike.
Yeah, big mistake from Giedrius as well. Yeah,
has cut the track then to try bring ground.
Yeah, it's a huge advantage to young Marcus Heinen from Cork going into the second one. So again, this is the advantage of leading first, Adam. He'll know that he doesn't have to push, he doesn't have to take the risks in the chase position by really putting it on the door and risking making a mistake. He can just pretty much do an intelligent one here. He's at literally a 8-2, 9-1 advantage here. He can hang back, put in a safe chase, and book his place in the top 16.
Absolutely, Mike, but we never know what way it's going to go either way. This time in the lead position, Giedrius Belkus, I don't even know if I'm saying that right. I hope I did. Either way, it's Marcus Heinen Jr. in the chase position.
Yeah, I think we're not far off.
I don't know.
I still can't say Kuba's name correctly, but I'll try tomorrow.
Slowly,
again.
we'll learn,
exactly. So we are ready to rock. Marcus Heinen leaves a lot of a gap here. He doesn't want to leave too much of a gap, but I think he's being intelligent here. He knows that he has the pace on the naturally aspirated E90 BMW. He doesn't want to get caught in the pocket too much by being too close too soon, and now, as we can see, he's pretty much playing with the proximity here. Heinen, look, he's just drifting the Sylvia around nice and gingerly. Might not be the most exciting thing in the world to do, but there's plenty of time for that in the top 16. You got to get yourself there first, and it's an intelligent one from Heinen.
I definitely agree with you, Mike, but unfortunately having an intelligent run, he was trying to bring it in slower and leave a gap throughout zone 1, so he had time to bring the pace up and get into zone 2. It does look like he went offline, so the lines would be a massive factor in this, but you can see there's a came around zone 2 halfway through. That's where Giedrius made his mistake while he was in chase position, and Marcus did that, so it's a lot more consistent this time around.
Yep, both drivers out of the cars, guys. Round of applause for both drivers in the top 32, and we can announce going through to the top 16 to face off against Dean Davey. It's Marcus Heinen goes through to the top 16 as expected after that one, and that is the left-hand side of the bracket sorted as we move it on.
Flying through it.
Yeah, flying through the top 32 as we move it along to our second place qualifier on the line. It is Jamie Hynes to face off against 31st place qualifier Stefan Mooney. So yeah, going to be fireworks in this one as well. Big separation in terms of qualifying between both drivers, but if you remember, Stefan Mooney kind of making that car work, whereas Jamie Hynes, it looked like everything was, very much in unison, but Stefan Mooney doing a good job to get that car in the top 32. Both junior drivers, actually. So these guys are all falling into the 13 to 16 year old category.
Absolutely, Mike. Like, they're literally on their summer holidays. They shouldn't even be here. They should be off, I don't know, playing with water guns and doing some fun stuff or whatever. But I suppose this is their fun. A really expensive fun. Either way,
Really
young
expensive
Jamie
fun.
Hynes is in the lead position, giving a big flick and lots of speed throughout zone 1. A perfect line from Jamie Hynes. But Stephen Mooney is right there with him. He's pushing up on the zone, up on his door for zone 2. You can even see it there, Mike. He's trying to get as close proximity as possible. They're coming up here for zone 3. Jamie Hynes so consistent throughout his run. But Stephen Mooney is right there with him. Such a close transition there. I don't know where this is going to go, Mike. The proximity was so small.
Wow, a great job there from Stefan Mooney, looking far better than he did in qualifying. I mean, just to qualify in this company, you have to be good, obviously, but looking far more comfortable than his 31st place qualifying position would suggest. Maybe a tiny bit of a waver there just around zone 2, but overall not a huge mistake. Almost
that transition.
If his bumper was on the car, it wasn't going to be on the car anymore. He's lucky he was actually missing his front bumper, because he put his headlights on the back lights of Jamie Hynes there. Not a perfect chase, not perfectly consistent, and a great lead by Hynes, but a really aggressive good chase by Mooney.
Absolutely, and just in case you forgot, these guys are between the ages of 13 to 16, Mike. That is absolutely insane. Look at the skill from them.
Yeah, the future is safe enough, I think, in Ireland.
I would hope so, and I'd imagine so. Definitely from what we can see here in the Pro 2 category today.
Well, one of our judges is like literally 17 years of age, and he's a top 10 driver in Drift Masters at the moment. So
mind-blowing. Why are they feeding us here in Ireland?
Yeah, absolutely. And then you have his dad as well, that's just Tomas then. Tomas himself a seasoned pro, but yeah.
Do you know what they say? He taught him everything he knows, but Connor didn't teach him everything he knows.
Yeah. Well, this is it. But we swapped him around and we leave the line. Stefan Mooney now leaves the line, and Jamie Hynes is going to have been on to his spotter there and will know all about it, that he has to put it on the door here. He's wanting... Oh, unfortunately, Mooney shuts it down. We're robbed of the battle that we so much wanted to see. Jamie Hynes manages to keep the car drifting.
Yeah, just overtake, sure, why not?
Makes the overtake on the drift as well. Jamie Hynes is just getting in that practice lap, but Stefan Mooney shuts the car down. Hopefully nothing too serious. Might be a half shaft, might be just something, if that car's still on an airflow meter, it might just be a boost pipe or something, I'm not sure.
Mike, I'm just more impressed how Jamie Hynes kept the drift going through all of that.
Yeah, he hardly even straightened, to be honest. Yeah, unfortunately there, Stefan Mooney doing a great job up to that point. But the winner, and going through to the top 16, it is Jamie Hynes, the young man from the West. Galway man, I believe.
Galway man, so I believe as well, Mike. Only drifting about a year, if not a year and a half at most, and you can see the talent he has already. A man that puts a lot of time in, a boy that spends a lot of time on the simulator practicing and putting in the hours to dial in his line and get them skill levels up.
Yeah, Dylan Wilson versus Cian Leahy is now warming up, and you know, I was just going to say there, I've seen so many of these battle sheets. I was drifting from 2007 myself, and I've seen names alongside, you know, ones I kept myself that I just came across recently when tidying up, like James Dean, way back in the day, and you know, you see the likes of Darren McNamara, all those guys, then the Shanahans, according as the years went on these battle sheets. Are we seeing the new breed of superstars being born here in front of us? I really think so.
I absolutely think so too, Mike. It's a new age of drifting, so it is. Either way, we're going into Dylan Wilson and Cian Leahy. This time with Dylan Wilson in the lead position. Lovely line through zone 1. Cian Leahy's trying to keep with him as much as he can as that BMW pushes away and tries gaining proximity as much as he can. But the Cian Leahy is giving everything he can to close the proximity up on the door of that BMW. But everything is so fluid from the lead driver. Cian Leahy cutting the track here, a small bit through zone 4 to try to stay with him.
Yeah, we were speaking with Cian there at half-time at the break, and he said he was going to leave his tyre pressures exactly as they were for qualifying. Could make the car a little bit quicker, but it's working for him. He can be consistent with what he has. Unfortunately, doesn't seem to have had the pace as expected of the 2J of Dylan Wilson, but he did start to find, by cutting the track to be fair, did start to find some proximity at the end, but overall I think possible. And we can smell clutch up here, actually.
I was just about to say there's a bang a clutch, so there is, to put it into technical terms, as Mike covers his face up to
that's a bad pong of clutch. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not too sure who it was coming from. I hope it wasn't Cian Leahy.
It was definitely Cian Leahy, because he put in a new clutch during the week.
Yeah, well, it's not new anymore. It's partially worn, as I'd say.
Yeah, definitely. Dylan Wilson not needing to do that many clutch kicks in the Turbo 2 JZ, obviously. Cian Leahy with a 330 BMW engine. Lots of clutch kicks needed.
Yeah, well, that. Sorry, I keep giggling here as Mike covers himself up. Either way, Cian Leahy's in the lead position this time. Hopefully not going to burn the clutch out of that car. But Dylan Wilson is right there with him. Cian Leahy, a beautiful initiation from Cian Leahy. Straightens up just a small bit before he comes into zone 2. But Dylan Wilson is with him there the whole way around. Continuous and simple proximity away from the chase driver. But he's there with him the whole way. Cian Leahy's pushing that BMW around the track. We can hear him clutch kicking, so we're definitely going to get a bang of it again. Great line from Cian Leahy. He straightens up a small bit for zone 2. But Dylan Wilson was with him the whole way, Mike.
Yeah, I think Wilson just knew exactly what he had to do there and executed it pretty much perfectly. Didn't overcommit in any part of the track, although Wilson did have possibly had a wheel off there around zone 2, but I think overall might have just had the car advantage there over Leahy and put that to work. And indeed, Dylan Wilson advances to the top 16. Cian Leahy, after a good qualifying session, bows out, and Wilson possibly just outcarred the Corkman there and continues his championship march.
Absolutely. We're going to move on to our next battle. A driver that has been going unbelievable all day long, Nathan Walsh in his little MX-5, will be chased down by the one and only Kieran Lynch, a great character of the Pro 2 category here in the Irish Drift Series. This will go either way. Mike, Kieran Lynch looks like he's on form all weekend. Things weren't 100% for him throughout qualifying, but he could bring it back. Last time we saw him in battle action, he threw Francie Hynes off the track. Hopefully he doesn't do the same for the small MX-5 this time. Nathan Walsh has been on form all day, has great pace. I don't know where he's getting from. There's lots of power in that MX-5.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking forward to seeing Nathan Walsh with this car in battles. You got to loosen up the MX-5 a little bit to get the consistency out of them. He seems to be after doing that, but look at the pace of it in here. He's after opening out a little bit of a gap on Kieran Lynch here, who's not in a slow car. But Kieran Lynch now, let's see, can he find the quarter panel? He's struggling here. Nathan Walsh just seems to have a quick little car on his hands here. Kieran Lynch now looking for the quarter panel, the tiny quarter panel. Oh, Nathan Walsh hits the wall, but Kieran Lynch has no answer here, and he's very, very straight at him through the transition.
That's absolutely wild, Mike. Such a small car, and the pace from, you can see here on the initiation, a big drag at a handbrake. Once he got an angle, he left it off, and he had it going all the way through zone 1, and Kieran Lynch making a dive for zone 2. Kieran Lynch did not have the proximity as much as he'd like, I'd imagine, throughout that run. So I'd imagine it's going a lot more towards Nathan Corcoran. He does get all the zones so perfectly and gets right and deep in zone 3 and knocking the back bumper off that car.
Yeah, well, they have that wishbone set up in the MX-5, which is, it's quite a natural little race car. They're small, they're nimble, they're light. The problem being that suspension setup and the length of the car makes them really difficult to be consistent in without a lot of adjustments and without them fighting you all the way. Nathan Walsh seems to be after managing to loosen the car up, take some of that natural grip out of it, and seems to be after actually finding, which is unusual for an MX-5, seems to be after finding a nice consistent suspension setup and an entire setup. So let's see what he can do in this. It looks like a good package.
Absolutely. We've seen him throughout the season, definitely progressing. I've seen him down 360 on some practice days as well, and he's really starting to dial that car in. The MX-5 is actually one of the first cars I've ever sat in to try slide, and there's only one way to describe it. It feels like a go-kart. Shout out to Ralph Vandenberg, actually, for giving me that opportunity many years ago. But Nathan Walsh definitely has his one dialed in the correct way and knows how to get that car around the track.
Yeah, I mean, we can go back to the likes of a Denny George, who had the V8 one in Formula Drift, going back pre-COVID times, and it always looked like such a handful, and any top level MX-5 always looks so difficult. But Nathan Walsh is one looking up. Kieran Lynch leads him in now, this time the Corkman. Let's see what he can do from Carrick-Navarre, and it is a beautiful entry from Kieran Lynch. Much better this time. Nathan Walsh now is a little bit stuck on the inside of the track, Adam. Let's say nothing yet. It might be as you were after the first battle. Kieran Lynch now just a little bit of a waiver from Lynch, nothing too major, as Nathan Walsh gets the transition done way too early as well. Walsh is possibly in trouble here. Kieran Lynch, not a textbook lead run, a little bit of a scrappy battle from both. But
I was just thinking the exact same thing, Mike. As I said, he was so fluid throughout practice, and since competition has started, he hasn't been himself. That was definitely a bit of a scrappy lead run, and Nathan Walsh was doing his best to absolutely try to deal with it. Definitely had a lot more closer proximity than he did when Kieran was in the chase position.
Yeah, I mean, he did, but I think he was quite scrappy and had a huge straighten there between 3 and 4, and I don't think it was I think it was an unforced error between 3 and 4 there, that massive straighten, and that straighten might possibly be the defining factor between both drivers. We're just hearing, I'm overhearing here something about a fluid leak on track, so we'll have to see if that upset, just in case that made Nathan Walsh over-rotate there. The MX-5, they do this anyway, but it did seem to quite snap to the right there on the transition at him. Possibly if Kieran Lynch is leaking something there. I'm not sure which car. Oh, it's Nathan is supposed to be leaking, so maybe some of his own lubricant got on his own back tyres. So not sure exactly what happened there, but Walsh... Oh, just a radiator leak, okay. Turbo V8 power in a tiny engine bay, that's what happens.
Yeah, probably would do. Boil the kettle, sure.
Boil the kettle, exactly. So waiting for the result to drop in from the judges. Kieran Lynch on the left, Nathan Walsh on the right. Nathan Walsh, the higher qualifier, 7th position, the qualifying place versus 26th of Lynch. And the judges are still just in slight deliberation.
It's definitely one to note as well, Mike. Nathan Walsh is actually a Pro 2 rookie driver.
Yeah, Pro 2 rookie Nathan Walsh, first season in the hot seat. And I would imagine it's quite hot in that car again, turbo V8 power in a tiny little chassis like that. So just waiting for the judges here. They're watching in their own replay system as we have the camera panned up. Getting the scenic view, exactly, here at IDS.
We can overhear our judges here trying to really talk about what is the story and who is in
Walsh dropped a wheel on the way in as well there, so overall quite a scrappy run as well from both drivers.
Absolutely. We're just going to take a moment here to give a huge shout out once again to our sponsors, our 2 title sponsors, Lucky Day Competitions and Red Bull Energy, followed by our other sponsors, ECU Master, Dugen Factory, Nazuba Motorsport, CDM Sport, Group D, where Mike comes from himself all the way down in Cork, Turn Tire Distribution, Strom Wheels, which we see so many drivers using on track, GMD Tires, driftmagazine.eu, Shift AM, our official media partners, and TS Drift Days. Mike, we just got word in there, it's going to be a one more time.
It is indeed, yeah. So I think both sides of the battle cancelling each other out a little bit scrappy from both drivers, and the judges deeming then that they needed to see it one more time. The mistakes from Nathan and the mistakes from Kieran cancelling each other out, proximity cancelling each other out. Therefore, they're going to run him again one more time.
Absolutely. I think it'll be an interesting one, Mike, because they both are 2 very good drivers, and Nathan Walsh looks on form this weekend. He has that car ready for action, so that'll be one that'll be interesting to watch again, as Kieran Lynch has been driving great trail practice. Hopefully he dials it up now for his second one against this. Either way, we're going to move on to our next 2 drivers. It's the one and only Andrew Malloy, and probably my favourite looking car. It's so simple but so beautiful. The E36, the Pro 2 driver, against Jake McElveen, the Pro 2 junior, who will be driving the CDM Sport V8 powered E46 from Conor Dugen. So Conor Dugen's still in competition, but so is Jake McElveen, and they're both using the one car.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I think they're both allowed to drive the same car unless they meet each other. So Andrew Malloy on the left, Jake McElveen on the right as you look at them. And if you are at the start line, it'll be in the lead position, of course, Andrew Malloy on the outside lead line.
Absolutely, Mike. And while we have the opportunity, may as well give a huge shout out to everyone in attendance here today in Bishopscourt, Diff and Drift, Northern Ireland's home of drifting. For a Pro 2 day, Mike, there's a great turnout here. The weather is absolutely beautiful. A bit of a cold breeze to keep us cool, but the tyre smoke and the heat from the engines is still keeping us all warm at the same time. There's loads going on in here, as there's a motorbike action going on over on the main track. There's a bit of Diffin lad, rings lad, going on up at the other side of the airfield here as well, away from us, and loads of action going on around the place here with entertainment in the drifting side of things.
Yeah, absolutely. Fun-filled weekend here at Bishopscourt. Like you said, on the main track just across the field here, we have the classic Irish motorcycle show, and like you said there, Adam, there is a big slab here if you fancy bringing your whatever it is out for a day here. Feel free to come over, book it in, and bring your road car over here or whatever it may be for a bit of diffing, fun in safety, and legal as well, so you can't get
best
in
side
trouble.
of it, Mike. Best side of it.
And Of course, yeah, and of course we are here for the Irish Drift Series Round 4. Pro 2 action today, and we are back for Pro action tomorrow when everything gets turned up to 11 or possibly 12. And things do genuinely get very, very crazy tomorrow. The pace, visually the pace is actually so much faster than Pro 2 action due to the tyre and the extra horsepower of the cars. And of course the best drivers in Ireland will be behind the wheels of those cars tomorrow, putting on a show for all you guys here in attendance and all you guys at home watching live on YouTube.
Absolutely, Mike. Absolutely. We're just figuring out some information here from our judges. They're just confirming everything is okay with the two cars before we do go with this run to make sure everything is legal and down to the rule book of the whole situation with borrowing cars, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I do believe that the rules state that only one car can be used in competition, that if there is being a borrowed car scenario, that only one driver can drive it. I presume the reason being that, you know, should both drivers meet, obviously it causes a buy run. And then if both drivers are to be on opposite ends of the battle bracket and both make it into, say, the top 4, it's going to cause huge delays in terms of getting tyres on a car for top 4 semi-finals and all that kind of thing. So obviously it gets quite slow at that stage of the bracket anyway, changing tyres without sharing a car at that stage. So unfortunately it's only possible for one competitor to use one car per competition.
Absolutely, Mike. Absolutely. So it's only the fairest way possible. I think we're going to move on to our next battle within the meantime, which will be Jake Davey and Jake McElveen.
Yeah, I think the organisers just giving Conor Dugen there the chance to make the decision, just in case he wasn't aware of that rule. Possibly thought that he could double drive that car. So Conor Dugen has his own championship obviously to worry about, and instead of loaning his own car and possibly putting himself out of competition, I think they're going to give him a chance to make that decision, knowing the rules correctly.
Absolutely, just to make sure everything's correct and no one has any issues as well. Just to note as well, I was talking to Conor Dugan during the week and he said to me that car is only running on 6 cylinders when it's meant to be running on 8 as it has that V8 power. Still sounded aggressive, still had all the pace. It made its way around the Japfest layout in Mondello Park, and he was still confused as to why he was doing it, but through further inspection throughout the week he figured out that it was down 2 cylinders the whole time and it was all fixed this weekend, and he was definitely trying to get his money's worth of it, Mike, by lending out the car while also driving himself.
Yeah, having all 8 going is a fantastic job, to be fair, so he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Definitely look good in qualifying.
I must say so as well, Mike. Beautiful day up here, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Cracking weather, perfect weather for a drift event. A little bit breezy as well, gets the tyre smoke out of the way, sun is shining. Everybody here in attendance looks like they're enjoying it. We're stuck inside the tower here, unfortunately, out of the sunshine, but we were glad of it at round 2 there, Adam, because it was torrential rain. We had to actually step out of the tower for the podium to about 1.5 inches of water at the bottom of the tower here. So
little more than 1.5 inches, I'd say.
It was
should have bought the swim trunks.
Sneakers into the washing machine after a job, and just you had to wash the sneakers and dry them out after. It was bad, but glad to have the great weather here for this event, and very much looking forward to the rest of the evening, see what happens, and looking forward to tomorrow. And guys, if you're here today and you haven't seen this action before, be sure to get back here tomorrow, because genuinely everything gets turned up to 11. The atmosphere is crazy, the cars are crazy, the drivers are crazy, and it's a fantastic show, genuinely.
Absolutely, we saw it there throughout lunchtime. It wasn't streamed, unfortunately, but for everyone in attendance here, did they get to see the Pro 1 drivers were out practicing throughout lunch for an hour. And Mike, the pace difference is absolutely wild. They all will be running semi-slicks tomorrow, so they're a lot more of a grippier tyre, and they have the opportunity to put it to full use, because majority, if not all, the cars in that Pro 1 category have so much power. They're in the 500 plus kind of range, and not even that as well. There's also the opportunity from the top 4 from today, no matter who it is, what car you're driving, the top 4 from today will have the opportunity to move on tomorrow and compete in the Pro 1s.
Absolutely, they do indeed. So the top 4 from today do get a chance to qualify with the pros tomorrow, and more often than not they do, because they come into tomorrow's action absolutely hot from the day before and knowing the track like the back of their hand. So you usually do see, even though they have to move up sometimes to the better tyre, you usually see the guys who get on very well in the Pro 2 competition, get on well in the Pro Class 10. Until it comes to battles, if they haven't changed to that semi-slick tyre, then they can be a little bit left behind in battles, but that's each driver's decision based on their machinery and their budget, etc. So we are ready to rock. On the line we have Jake Davey from the Pro 2 junior class leading our Pro 2 championship outright at the moment, and leading the junior class, I would say, at this stage. And Justin Murphy, the man from Kildare, is trying to put a stop to Jake Davey's championship hopes. Can he keep marching on here? Let's see. But Justin Murphy is a strong competitor, and he is showing that right here. Look at the surge from Murphy onto the door. Davey here pacing the BMW to spare here onto the door to Sylvia. Big angle from both drivers, both purple cars. Fantastic. Oh! Big dive there from Murphy, surged onto the front wheel of Davey, and Davey staying in the drift there, maintaining drift. And yeah,
Mike, that's the kind of stuff we like to see. An unbelievable and tactical lead run from the young Jake Davey, our championship leader at the moment, putting down a great line and giving Justin Murphy every opportunity to put it on the door, and that's exactly what he does. He pushes right up on the door of Jake Davey. We can see here as they transition onto zone 3, Justin Murphy puts it a bit too much, making front wheel contact with Jake Davey. Thankfully, it doesn't affect him too much. Jake does still finish his run and get across the line completely safe, and so is Justin Murphy. Loads of tight proximity throughout that run, Mike, so it's going to be interesting seeing it when it's the other way around now.
yeah, really liking the aggression there from Murphy. Overdoing it for a split second, but overall I think definitely letting know Davey that he's there. So just looking at the championship here as I got off the live stream.
Well, we're going to kick straight into
we
it,
were
Mike.
straight
It's
back
Justin
in, sorry.
Murphy in the lead position this time. He's using every bit of power. Loads of angle from Justin Murphy. A bit shallow on zone 1, but he was still in there. But Jake Davey is with him. He's not holding back. Jake Davey making the dive, dropping off track, unfortunately, getting 2, if not 3 tires off track. Having a cut in now to get right up back on the door for zone 3. I'm not too sure what way this is going to go, Mike. It might not be favouring the young favourite, Jake Davey. But Justin Murphy is giving it everything to put down the best line possible. What an unbelievable run. 2 great lead runs we've just seen. One scrappy enough chase and one other scrappy enough chase, to be honest, yeah.
Well, I said Jake Davey was leading the juniors. It's actually Alex Butler, but Jake Davey is second in the junior class. He's having a fantastic season, but is it about to come to an end at around 4 at least for him? I'm not sure. He definitely got back into the pocket at the end of the run, and Murphy did have that over aggression in the middle there at clip 3, so it's going to be a tight one for the judges to call. Jake Davies leading the championship by almost 30 points from Denny Devine. 100 points of course available for a win, but Davey drops 2 wheels off track on the chase there, so a big mistake there from Davey, and I think, I'm not sure, but Davey could be in trouble here, and as a result, if his competitors in the championship keep progressing, it might set us up for a super tight final going into the last round in Watergrass Hill on the 24th of August. But we'll have to see here as we see both the purple drift cars there glistening in the sun. Guys, a round of applause there for Justin Murphy and Jake Davey. And as both drivers wait anxiously for their results, Jake Davey knows that his season is in the balance here. Justin Murphy not quite there this season, but once again is a man who could take it on his day, any given day, and with the way he's driving, who knows. But if you watch, Davies chase as well, he dropped 2 wheels. Murphy was really nice there in the chase in this part. No, he did really surge there, but it wasn't a huge mistake. It didn't affect the lead.
Jake Davies' lead line was literally textbook perfect in my opinion, Mike, and Justin Murphy was with him throughout the whole way. Just a bit too much on that zone 3 where he does make contact with the front wheel, but we can see here when it's the opposite way around, Justin Murphy's in the lead position and Jake Davey just kind of messes it all up around zone 3. You can see
and drops 2 wheels as well.
2 wheels, if not 3, Mike. It's really deep into the zone.
Yeah, I think Davey's in trouble here. I'm not sure what way the judges are going to call it, but a lot of mistakes there from Davey in the chase. But I think, at best it's going to be one more time, I think.
I would say so, Mike. I would say so, because it could go either way there. I'm not too sure what the Davies going to do about this now here.
Yeah, so judges deep in discussion. Once again, they are wired up to each other in headsets, and they can hear each other's thoughts almost. Tomas Falvey, Connor Falvey, and Kieran Hynes. Connor Falvey, current European Drift Masters competitor, of course, top 10 in that championship at the moment. Tomas Falvey around drifting with about 17, 18 years as a competitor and a spectator and a judge, of course, and now a drift dad. And Kieran Hynes started off drifting pretty much in Ireland, pretty much at least. As a judge anyway, of course, brought the sport on in leaps and bounds over the years and made us, was one of the cornerstones into making Irish drifting what it is, and now runs the series with his wife Sinead and family, of course. And Alan, his son, is current reigning Irish drift champion.
He is. He had to
So,
quit
yeah.
while he was ahead, though. He's just at home.
He quit while
today.
he
I
was
think
ahead,
he's playing on
exactly.
computers
He got
or
lucky.
something. Yeah, he's playing on computers or something today, I think.
He is
Playing Happy Wheels or something.
He's actually competing professionally in the European Virtual Drift Series.
Absolutely, we can see that's something that's massive lately, Mike. We see a lot more drivers using the simulator as practice, and as well as competitive side of things, as you said there, with the Virtual Drift Series and Virtual Drift Masters being a huge
Sponsored by RTR, I believe, in that. So it's not small
well
business
done.
either. Yeah, I
Maybe we'll
believe
see
so.
an RTR coming to IDS. You never know. You never know.
Well, guys,
But
we do have news, as you can see there on the live stream if you're watching it, going through to the top 16, and this is a big shake-up for the championship. It's Justin Murphy advances to the top 16, and Jake Davey bows out, which means that the championship has now been blown wide open heading into the last round.
Absolutely, Mike. Absolutely, Mike. We'll have Alex Butler, who'll really be fighting for another junior driver who is highly talented. Top qualifying, won his first battle due to car issues against his competitor, who'll be in the top 16. So this will go absolutely anyway. Things are really changing up. Either way, we're moving on to our next battle list. One and only Declan Byrne, and into chase position will be Callum Coogan, two pro drivers. Oh, never mind. We're gone back to the last one, Mike. My apologies.
Yeah. We're gone back to the Andrew Malloy, Jake McElveen battle. So Jake McElveen is indeed in Conor Duggan's car, meaning that Conor Duggan might have possibly forfeit his... No, he's not. Okay, we're still getting information on that one. Andrew Malloy with a really nice lead here. Not a perfect run from McElveen, but you know what? He's in that borrowed car. And Adam, that's never easy. It's one thing in qualifying when you've got nothing else going on, but when you're in the battle, it's super difficult to put all that together in a borrowed car. So a couple of waivers there from McElveen in the chase. Perfect run from Malloy as usual.
Absolutely, Mike. Great looking car, Andrew Malloy. But just to say though as well though, if you hadn't told me that that's a borrowed car under Jake McElveen, apart from the transition going into zone 2, I wouldn't have believed you. I would have said that that's his own car. He looks very comfortable, but he did only make that decision last minute today to swap over. Speaking of swapping, I'm going to change the order around this time. It will be Andrew Malloy taking the chase position, and it'll be Jake McElveen in the lead position.
Yeah, absolutely. So just hearing there, in the interest of sporting competition, the organisers allowing Jake McElveen to compete, and he is indeed competing, and he's firing in the BMW here. Beautiful looking in the sunshine to see the M Sport E46 chased down by the slightly older E36 and Malloy, being chased down very aggressively. In fact, it's a beautiful dive there from Malloy onto the door. Look at this from for proximity, but just loses him a little bit through the transition. Now Malloy really has to get the that dive transition done. Doesn't quite get it, but he still does find it, or cuts the track a little bit. But I think overall Malloy definitely not a perfect chase there, and maybe the proximity could have been a tad better. Lovely dive there just onto the wall. But
so not Mike, you say the word aggressive for the chase driver there, but I'd nearly say consistent. The proximity throughout
yeah,
very, very consistent.
Yeah, nice consistent run there
from Andrew Malloy. I must say I love the look of that car. It's absolutely stunning.
It's beautiful,
colour, beautiful. And saying that, my favourite looking car on the grid will be going through is Andrew Malloy, making his way into the top 16. Unfortunately, knocking Jake McElveen out in that borrowed car, so he'll be left to Conor Duggan to bring that car to the podium.
Yeah, so Jake McElveen, wasn't actually informed of that before the competition started, so the organisers, in the interest of sporting goodwill, allowing him to compete in that, even though Conor Duggan will compete as well. So we go back, but they will not meet now, obviously, because Jake McElveen is out of competition, so no harm done there. Nathan Walsh and Kieran Lynch, we're back to that one more time.
Absolutely, Nathan Walsh in a MX-5, the high-powered car.
Whoa! Look at
Loads
this.
of speed as usual. This time Kieran Lynch is with him, not as aggressive, but a lot more fluid. Huge dive from Kieran Lynch up for zone 2, losing a bit of his line, but he's still there with him. Didn't make any contact, thankfully. Coming into zone 3 here, Kieran Lynch is still with him. Nathan Walsh in the lead position, putting down a beautiful line. I don't know how the MX-5 is doing. It's a small bit shallow for zone 4, and Kieran Lynch went a bit too deep. bit scrappy there towards the end, Mike, but a
Kieran
great
Lynch
run
on
apart from
the
that.
Kieran Lynch on the better qualifying line than the lead car, unusually there around the last corner. But we met Kieran there at the halftime break as well. He said he's going to stick it. I won't try to do his accent, but he said he's going to stick it on the door, or possibly in the door anyway. So we said maybe don't put it in the door, but just put it on it. And he said he'll give it a go. He said that's exactly what he did. And nice line around the end there from Lynch. He could have also elected to chase the door there, but very, very good run there from both drivers. Maybe not perfect Twiso tandem drifting, but you know what? I'm still loving it. It's always very entertaining, especially the top 32 in Pro 2. It's always just so crazy.
Absolutely, Mike. Kieran Lynch, a man that likes chasing as well, for sure. Loves creating a close proximity and putting it on the door of other cars. But this time it's the other way around. The bigger car is in the lead position. It's Kieran Lynch and Nathan Walsh in the chase position. Nathan Walsh, quite an aggressive chase driver, I must say so myself, Mike. He has the pace in that little MX-5. You described earlier how they're a fast little nimble car for racing, but going sideways might be a different little thing. It's basically like a go-kart, if I say so myself.
Yeah, so start line marshal Kevin makes eye contact with both drivers, gets the thumbs up, walks out of the way, engages the lights. Lights go red, orange, green, and we are ready to rock for the second battle of the one more time between Kieran Lynch and Nathan Walsh in the little MX-5. Lynch flicks the car in, closely followed by Walsh, leaving a tiny bit of a gap down order, maybe just to get that MX-5 settled down. But he left quite a gap there at him. He didn't quite get on the quarter from the get-go.
He didn't, Mike, but it did look like Kieran Lynch stumbled up just a small bit for zone 1 and has been very fluid and consistent from Nathan Walsh in the chase position. Nathan is still with him there, even going across the line, trying to put on the door of Kieran Lynch, swapping things around. For once, we're watching a replay once again. You can kind of see it there, Mike. He straightens just a tiny bit after initiating into zone 1, Kieran Lynch in the lead position. But Nathan Walsh was with him there the whole way. There was a bit of a gap in the proximity, but quite fluid from what I can see.
Yeah, definitely a close one once again between these two drivers, both putting it up to the other equally once again as the tyre smoke continues to billow out. But we can announce going through to the top 16, it's the Corkman. Kieran Lynch advances to the top 16 to the delight of the crowd there below us, and Nathan Walsh though can take a lot of positives from this event. That MX-5 looks like a weapon, and I think if he finds some of that grip, dials back in a little bit of that grip, I think he's got a really good package on his hands. But Kieran Lynch will now face off against Andrew Malloy in the top 16.
Ooh, that'll be an interesting one, Mike. He'll be absolutely delighted to be making his way into the top 16. But we're going to move on to our next battle. As I was saying earlier, the one, the only Declan Byrne, a driver that's been looking at form a lot throughout this season, putting on some great runs. Unfortunately, running into some car issues before, but it should be all sorted for this weekend. He's facing Callum Coogan, the Pro 2 driver, in his E36. Who's also been looking great throughout practice and qualifying today, Mike. So this will be another interesting one.
Yeah, Kevin, our start line marshal there, getting Callum to go lock to lock there. Not sure exactly what's going on. Just checking out the car there and making sure that all is good. Obviously, both cars being checked really quickly always by the start line marshal for any leaks, etc., and making sure that all is good in the suspension, that there's nothing broken or bent. In the interest of safety more than anything else, obviously, and fairness on both competitors. So all looks to be good to go. Thumbs up from Callum, thumbs up from Danger Declan Byrne. Kevin walks out of the way, engages lights red, amber and green, and we are good to go for this battle. Declan Byrne leads us in. Callum Coogan to follow as the lower qualifier. Declan Byrne always does a big flick. Does he here? He doesn't. He holds it back a little bit, does a little bit more of a measured entry and hits the limiter in the S14. Callum Coogan goes a little bit straight and doesn't quite have the proximity here. Callum Coogan is in trouble here, Adam.
Absolutely, Mike. A great run from Declan Byrne here. As you can see, he's following that qualifying line absolutely perfectly. He didn't do as wild of a flick as he usually does. A lot of left foot brake there for zone 4 to make sure he keeps the back tyres within that zone, just on the edge of it. So he was. Callum Coogan doing everything he could to stay with him. Does drop a few tyres there on zone 1, but tries closing the proximity as much as he can throughout the rest of the half of the run.
Yeah, you know, I think Coogan just didn't have an answer there for the pace of the Sylvia of Byrne, which is of course a borrowed car for this year, and he's doing a great job in it, to be fair to Declan. And you know, I can't pick out anyone standing out so far. You know, usually you see the top 32, maybe apart from Alex Butler, who looks really good, but we didn't see much of him. I mean, he looks so good in qualifying from what we saw of him, but I can't really pick out any standout here. It's going to be a very, very tight top 16 as well. and through the bracket. You know, there's nobody saying that, oh, they're definitely going to go through. You know, it's definitely going to be a tight competition, I think.
The thing is, I disagree with you completely. You're saying you don't see anyone stand out. The problem is, I think everyone is standing out.
Yeah, possibly.
That has so far got into the top 16.
But
so this will go anyway.
I mean, we're looking here. Bartek Blejetski is going to face off against Denny Devine in another one with big championship ramifications now, especially that Jake Davey is out of competition. So it's very exciting. Now, Declan Byrne looks like he's in the position of advantage here against Callum Coogan. Callum Coogan will definitely have a slightly slower car than Byrne. You know, in a BMW Power versus the turbo-powered 6-cylinder Silvia. So let's see. Byrne is an intelligent driver. He's gonna gauge this one. He's gonna hold back, and he's gonna let a little bit of a gap on the way. And I would say to Coogan, because he's gonna know that he's already at an advantage, and he doesn't want to get caught in the pocket and make a big mistake, big straighten or whatever. So let's see if he's thinking along the same lines as myself, or if he's gonna come in all guns blazing.
I'm not too sure. Mike Declan Byrne does love to go in all guns blazing, but we're going to find out what he does here. He played it safe for his lead. He's going to play it safe for his chase. I'm not too sure. Bit shadow coming in there for the zone 1, but he's right there with him, Mike. He's there keeping his close proximity as much as he can. Declan Byrne pushing up on the door, and Callum Coogan is getting as close proximity as possible. Callum Coogan trying to fill every zone as best he can, get things towards him, but Declan Byrne looks aggressive. He is there with him, pushing him around the track as much as he can. What a great run from both drivers, Mike. Yeah,
really nice lead and an even better chase, to be honest, there, and really liking the chase there from Byrne. He did drop a couple of wheels on the transition, but apart from that, pretty much textbook stuff from Byrne there. Very intelligently played, and looks like the car advantage just got him across the line. And indeed, we can announce Declan Byrne goes through to the top 16. Callum Coogan bows out, but as always doing a great job, maybe just a little bit out card in this occasion. And Declan Byrne goes through to face off against Justin Murphy in the top 16, so that'll be an interesting one.
Absolutely, Mike. Great entertainment. Speaking of entertainment, if you've ever seen anything entertaining, it'd probably be Ben Searles driving around the back streets of Newcastle West on his Honda 50.
Yeah.
I meant to give him a shout out there when he's watching, so
yeah,
I'm sure he'll be happy with that.
Fantastic stuff. Again, the oldest, I think he sold it now, but the oldest CBR 600 owner in Munster.
He loves his old bikes.
He's an old man that loves his old bikes. I'm only joking, Ben. I love you very much.
You look scared when he said that.
Sean Healy points at me as well. I'm going to look at bikes later on and having maybe indulging in a beverage also later on.
Beverage or two. Michael might join you. We're going to move.
Ovaltine, as Sean Healy says, getting on the Ovaltine for the night, settling myself in at 7 o'clock for the bed. Right, Conor Duggan is on the line, and also is Francis Hynes. It's Donegal versus Galway. And Conor Duggan has got the whole shot here in the V8 BMW, and Francis Hynes is a little bit caught out here, Adam, and looked to panic. I think he initiated too hard, drops a couple of wheels as a result. Conor Duggan is gone off with this one.
Absolutely, you could definitely see a mistake there for zone 1. Francis Hynes is trying to make up for it throughout the rest of his run, but Conor Duggan is not letting that affect him. He's going out there, he's in his own car, it's not borrowed, and he's making it do what it needs to do, using all 8 cylinders for the first time this year, and he's making it work for him.
Yeah, using all 8 for the first time, it seems to be working for him. Looking very, very good there, nicely measured in the lead position is Conor Duggan. Back wheel bang on the outside line, exactly what the judges want to see. Francis Hynes with the SR powered, turbo powered, of course, S chassis, having no answer. Seemed to get a little bit caught there on the line, maybe missed second gear or something, or just didn't get off the line quickly enough. So he was under pressure from the get-go on that one. Now Francis Hynes will be the leader, the Pro2 rookie driver, qualifying for his first couple of twin battles in the last couple of rounds. So he'll be happy with his performance either way.
Absolutely, Mike. He won't have the rookie status next year, but he's definitely coming up in the ranks throughout this season so far. His driving has improved, and so has that car and the setup he has for it. And will we see all that come into action here now when he's in the lead position and Conor Duggan in the chase? But we're just hearing there Conor Duggan's going to go for a quick cool down. I'd say he's just going for a quick view. The scenes are beautiful up here, so I'd
they
say
are indeed. As we have our resident fan there in the background to blow the tyre smoke out of the way, just coming into shot. And
big fan of drifting,
biggest fan of drifting. And we see our Red Bull start line there, which is holding up nicely in the wind. Of course, once again, guys, if you haven't seen any of the shots from the Red Bull Drift Pursuit event in Spike Island in County Cork a couple of weeks ago, be sure to check that out. It was an absolutely crazy event on a prison island with a disused prison, shut down the tour shut down for the day. Well, actually ran by Red Bull for that day and turned into basically a drift pursuit track, which was a hybrid sport between drifting and a time with a timed element as well. So absolutely crazy scenes there. Everybody had to be taken on a boat over there. Mad stuff. So we are ready to rock for the second half of the battle. Francie Hynes with a much better line this time leads us in. Conor Dugen is right there with him though, and if Conor Dugen continues, this is going to be an easy call for the judges, Adam.
Absolutely, Francie Hynes looks like he's playing it safe this time. He's like, don't do anything wild. Must have been speaking to his spotter and warned well, just put down a good solid line and hope for the best. But Conor Dugen is there with him the whole way around. He has the power, he has the torque and that VAs, and he was well able to do it. Great run from Francie there, Mike, in all the zones, but will it be enough to favour things his way?
Yeah, I mean, much better from Francie definitely that time than his chase, a much better lead, but I think overall Dugen just had the proximity and Francie's chase was a little bit all over the place. So I think overall that, yeah, we can announce Conor Dugen, guys, goes through to the top 16. So Conor Dugen will be delighted, progresses to the top 16, and he will take on the winner of the next battle, which will be Clark Hatton versus Stuart Gordon.
Clark Hatton has been absolutely on form today, Mike, so he has. So this is definitely going to be an interesting one. He's throwing loads of angle on his initiation into zone 1 here, so I'm not too sure how his chase driver is going to deal with that, but we're about to figure out. Stuart Gordon has also been looking great and on form all day.
So just confirming there for the drivers that Conor Dugen wins this battle from our finish line marshal there. I think it's Jay's on the finish line today with the bucket hat, keeping the sun at bay here. Of course, a good spot to get sunburned out here on an airfield, the World War II airfield, with the wind. You don't get hot, but next thing you're absolutely scorched because the wind is keeping you cool, but the sun is still burning you. So good call there by Jay.
Especially with the Irish skin as well, Mike. To be fair, if you turn on the lights inside this judging tower, I'd probably get sunburned.
You'd burn with your...
I'd burn.
You were redhead.
I burnt around 2 here.
What are you going to do in Ibiza?
Stay well hydrated, I'd say.
I'd say stay indoors. I'd say you'll crisp up.
Appear at night time and to stay well hydrated is what I'm going to do.
Just crawl out of bed at 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, that's the plan.
It's 9 a.m. on a Friday. Get up. We're going to high.
Get up. We're going to shenanigans.
Shenanigans. Let's go. Exactly. So if you're heading for Ibiza in the next couple of weeks, head over. Our commentator here, Adam Driver, is DJing over in Ibiza. So yeah, living the life, Adam.
Living the dream.
Living the dream. Kevin and Perry go Lodge in it. In May. So yeah, head over and catch Adam. He's the foxy fella. You'll know him.
The one with the really red skin.
The Irish fella.
Wait, forget about that. We're getting back to drifting. It's Clark Hatton in the lead position. As I said, loads of angle as he dialed in for zone 1, but the chase driver just went off track, dropping 2 tyres, trying to keep there and
he's
angle.
Gone way off track here again at the end. It's all falling apart here for Stuart Gordon. Overdriving that car almost.
Definitely overdriving that car, Mike. I'm not too sure what's happening there for Stuart Gordon in his skyline. I don't even see him after crossing the line there, Mike. I'm not too sure what's just happened.
Yeah, we had I think we had a spinner there at the end.
Spinner.
Yeah, Stuart Gordon getting a little bit over exuberant there, I would say, in the chase position. Clark Hatton with that beautiful M2 BMW, the Hattons using this season as a trial season for this car, they say, looking like it's definitely getting much more dialed in. Of course, we saw this car in Formula Drift Pro Spec last year. Clark doing the American Championship Pro Spec there. Lots of mechanical gremlins last year. They're doing the Irish Drift season in Pro 2 this year in order to get the driver and the car all ironed out, and looking like it's very much working, because that was a pretty textbook run. Stuart Gordon has no chill either, by the way.
There's definitely no chill about that run, Mike. Hopefully he chills out just a small bit for his lead position, or else this is going to be a really scrappy one. At least it'll be entertaining regardless. But Stuart Gordon being the lead position this time in his skyline, while Clark Hatton, the young driver who's used to competed in Formula D Pro Spec last year, will be in the chase position. And I think things are favouring more towards Clark at the moment, but things could all change now as we see the lead driver initiate Stuart Gordon in the lead position. Bit of a wild one as well. Does not look like that he's dialed in properly with that car. He might be having a few issues, I'm not too sure, but he's making it work for him now, putting on an unbelievable outside line for zone 2. Clark cutting the track just a small bit to hold back away from him. Not too sure what way his run's going to go, but Stuart Gordon is pushing it right to the edge of the circuit here as it comes for zone 4.
As Fergal Budgie Queen says, unbelievable, like.
Unbelievable, like.
If you don't know what we're on about, look up Fergal Budgie Queen on TikTok there. Fantastically entertaining. He's kind of got one catchphrase and that's it, but it's very good.
It's one catchphrase, but his catchphrase
quality.
is unbelievable. Like.
It's unbelievable.
Literally.
Exactly. So Clark Hatton as our last battle of the top 32 goes through, guys. Stuart Gordon there, all falling apart in the chase for him a little bit. Hope to see him back in action. Very entertaining, to be fair. So Clark Hatton moves through to take on Conor Dugen in the top 16. And that is it for top 32, Adam.
That's it for top 32, Mike. We're about to come into our top 16 parade. We'll see the top 16 drivers of today all the way through qualifying, all the way through the top 32. They're now in the top 16. 16 drivers will go head to head, 8v8, well, 1v1, but you know, two sides is great. Either way, they'll be going head to head and find out to try get into the top 4 and then make their way into the podium position.
Indeed. And the championship is wide open now, to be honest, Adam. And yeah, I can't call it. I honestly usually would have a favourite at this stage. So we would usually be able to kind of pick out, you know, a guy that we would see going all the way, but I genuinely can't in this battle bracket. Not commentator, speaker, or anything.
One person
Genuinely.
I'd say that is standing out to me, Mike, is Alex Butler. Alex Butler this morning having car issues, having gearbox issues for his first run of the day, then sorting it all out, back out for his second run, topping qualifying, having his first battle, and his competitor having car issues, so he led to make his way into the top 16. Things are looking in his favour. It looks like luck is on his side today.
Yeah, possibly, and you do need a little bit of luck in order to get through the battles. You know, sometimes it's just it is a matter of luck and mechanical issues and things. Especially at this stage of the season, the cars start to get fatigued and they start to get tired. We're 4 runs in now, so always entertaining once again. And we are, I believe, gridding the cars at this stage, Adam, for a top 16 battle parade where we're going to get 16 drivers down on track. We're going to get down there with the mic, have a quick word with a couple of them, see how they're feeling, see their thoughts, and we're going to bring it to you guys. A little bit of a show aspect in for the Pro2s, get them ready for their pro life, I guess, in front of the cameras. And yeah, should be fantastic to get all 16 of our top 16 down on track. And Adam, I believe you're heading down and having a chat with a couple of them.
Am I? Okay. Be right back, so.
Yep, so guys, we will be back with you in just about, we will say, 5 minutes time. We'll be back with you guys in about 5 minutes time. We are just gridding our top 16 drivers for the top 16 parade. We'll get down on track, get up close and personal with the drivers, have a quick chat, and then we will be straight into the main part of the show here for the Saturday of IDS Round 4 2025 for Pro 2 top 16 battle action. Talk to you in a few.
This is how we do. That's me. That's right. That's me. That's right. That's me. Damn right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to kick off our top 16 parade for round 4 of the Irish Drift Series 2025. Please put your hands together and make a load of noise for our top 16! First up, we have the young Alex Butler taking on Ryan Nelli, followed by Blejetski taking on the young Danny Devine. Up next, Peter Malloy taking on Navitzkos. Davey taking on Marcus Heinen, followed by, on our second half of our grid, will be Jamie Hynes, the young man from Galway, taking on Dylan Wilson, the high-powered car, followed by Kieran Lynch taking on the other Malloy brother, Andrew, and Justin Murphy taking on Declan Byrne, and in our final battle, Connor Dugen and Clark Hatton. Once again, put your hands together and make some noise for our top 16! So we only have a few minutes to spare, so I'm going to take a moment to go around to some of our drivers and chat to them about their feeling. I'm here with Alex Butler. Alex, earlier on today you had some car issues for your first qualifying run. The gearbox gave up on you, but things have sorted themselves out. You topped qualifying, you're now through to the top 16. What's your game plan?
Oh man, I can't really get my head around it still that we got the box out and back in so short time, short notice. Literally got the box in and then had to head straight up the line out for me qualifying one and managed to get a good score, so happy out.
Well, congratulations making your way this far. Everybody give it up for the one only Alex Butler! Next up I have Danny Devine sitting second in the championship so far. The one above you has been knocked out, Jake Davey. This is your opportunity. What's the plan?
We're having a bit of gearbox trouble here at the minute, so we just have to send it on, see what happens. This weekend's going to be records or checkers. It's all we can do to gain back them points we lost from round 3.
Well, best of luck for the rest of the day, and hopefully things work out for you. Last time you podiumed here, hopefully you can do the same again today. Next is the man that I always somehow mispronounce your name. It's Navitzkos. Correct. Probably one of the most stylish cars on the grid today. Is it going to be this stylish at the end of the day? Are you going to give a full send and make your way to podium?
It's full send because I need the points. I've been doing pretty bad this season, so need to get back up there. So full send, like that.
Hopefully so, and hopefully it still looks as good at the end of the day. Up next is one of the other Davey brothers. You're fighting for the Davies today in the Pro2 Championship. How are you getting on?
Or not too bad now. We're up against Marcus, and he's a very, very, very good driver. Battled before, but we'll see how it goes. We'll let him put it to me, and I'll put it to him.
We can hear the lads chatting down here, and they're all getting aggressive, waiting for the battles to commence. I'm going to keep moving on because we're running short on time. Dylan Wilson, how are you feeling?
Yeah, feeling good. The car's working. We've had no real issues this weekend for a change, so yeah, keep pushing.
Absolutely, you've loads of power and you're using every moment of it, every bit of it out there on track today. How you find the pace from the other cars?
Yeah, no, we're definitely not stuck for pace, so we have the car gripped up to the absolute as much as we can get out of it, so yeah, we'll just keep it at that.
Outstanding. I'm going to move on to the young one and only, this year's first time ever competing, Jamie Hynes. You are standing out from a crowd. You're half the height of me, the car's the same colour as the hair, and you're not shy to put it around the track. What's the plan? Are you going for podium today? Is today your day?
I'm just going to drive as hard as I can. It's not going to be an easy battle, that's for sure. But yeah, just drive as hard as I can and see what time brings.
Well, hopefully all works out for you, and I hope to see you making a podium spot today in our top 16. So best of luck with that. Up next, I'm coming to Andrew Malloy. I never shut up about this car. I think it's the most beautiful car on the grid. So simple, looks great. You've been doing great throughout today. So is your brother Peter. Are you hoping to make it to the top spot?
I'm just taking it how it comes. Just don't get too flustered about it, and just take every battle at a time.
So hopefully everything goes well for you and goes to plan, and this car still looks as good towards the end of the day. Up next, the one, the only, Declan Byrne, the character. I don't know where you're looking, it's you. You have a big crowd here following you. They're always cheering for you. The car's been going great for you. You've had some issues throughout the last couple of rounds, but things seem to be dialed in for you today. How's it going?
I tell you, the biggest issue I'm having all day is I can't find the exit out of this place. I'm going around in circles here all day and I can't get out. I don't know what's going on here, but there's some racket.
There's definitely a lot of racket. Things are going great for you. You're definitely someone, I'd say, maybe a contender to get into the podium. You've nearly hit the podium spot a few times. Do you think you have what it takes today?
I really love this track, and it just ended so badly the last day, so I'm really looking forward to today, and I get to battle that man again. So I'd say if the crowd wanted to tune into a battle now, there's probably going to be war between the two of us.
I absolutely agree. That's one to tune into. Declan Byrne and Justin Murphy will be a really interesting one. And last but not least, I'm going to tune into one of our sponsors, CDM Sports Only, Connor Dugen. All season you told me you're only running on 6 cylinders when you're meant to be running on 8. It didn't make it any quieter of a car until you put an exhaust on it. It has all the power today, so much so that you were trying to spread it between 2 drivers, but now it's all for you. How are you feeling?
I feel really good. I was at a great practice session yesterday. This morning was questionable. I've took the front end off the car more than once, but if we hold her together and push through the battles, hopefully we'll have a good result.
Well, best of luck to all our top 16 drivers. We're about to get back into battle action with the top 16, 8 battles of drivers going head to head. It is going to be an intense one. It is going to be crazy and very entertaining. Bishopscourt, once again, give it up for our top 16!
Come on.
Down on track and put faces to the names for the spectators, that's for sure. And yeah, that is the next up and coming batch of Irish drivers, and that is the future. So good to have a chat with the guys, and we're almost ready to rock for the main part of the show. Top 16 action here at IDS at round 4.
Absolutely, Mike. I'm a small bit out of breath there from the little short, fast-paced walk back up to the judging tower here. Definitely experience, and it's great to put a face to some of these drivers, some very, very talented drivers. I only got a chance to speak to a few of them, but every single one of them there deserved the spotlight. Unfortunately, we didn't have that time, but now is our opportunity to give themselves the spotlight and fight their way to a podium spot today.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, 16 remain. We have to whittle it down to just 3 for the podium. Of course, we will have the junior and rookie podium to celebrate as well at the end of the event there in about an hour and a half's time, guys, so be sure to stick around for that one. It's always so good to see the young guns there spraying the champagne, and the rookie drivers as well, of course, as the Pro 2. And I have a feeling we might be seeing a couple of guys on a double podium as well at the end of this event, but who knows, it's still all to play for, guys. This championship is still wide open. It's the second last round of the year. The year has flown. We're already into the penultimate round, and we are ready to rock for top 16 action here. And on the line, it is none other than Alex Butler, the man who topped qualifying, the boy who topped qualifying, in fact, against Ryan Nelli, the Pro 2 driver, who wants to put his stamp on the championship. Look at this from Nelli. He is right on the back bumper of the Loudman. Wow, look at this, Adam. I mean, the proximity straight out of the box from Nelli in the top 16. Wow.
Absolutely, Mike. It's like you just copy and pasted what Alex Butler has just done, because Ryan Nelli is matching it to a T. But the thing is, Alex Butler is putting down an absolutely beautiful line for Ryan Nelli to follow and to duplicate. Towards the end there, it started shaping up just a small bit, but I'm not too sure who would be in favour of that. Alex Butler put down a great line today, or a great line just there, and we'll have to see it again now when it swaps their way around.
Yeah, and as I said earlier, Alex Butler sitting in 8th position outright in the Pro 2 Championship. So if he continues to charge on here and things go his way, I mean, Jake Davey's already out of competition. You know, Danny Devine is still in, Dylan Wilson is still in, Andrew Malloy is still in, Luke Telly's out, Peter Malloy is still in, Jake McElveen is out, so Alex Butler is looking pretty good here to progress. We don't have Colin O'Sullivan this weekend, who's just behind him, so it's looking like a great weekend for Alex Butler in terms of his championship. But Ryan Nelli is an up-and-coming driver. He's just in the hanging around about 20th roughly in the championship, and he really needs to have a big result because he's got the potential, he's got the skill. He's not having the championship that he might have wanted at the start of this season. Not bad by any means, but I know that he's a determined driver. So let's see what he can do here in the lead position. Look at Butler hanging back a little bit and getting the car angled already for the chase there. Interesting tactic there from Butler with the L plates on. Look at this though, look at the pace of Nelli. He might be about to put a stop to Butler's charge here because Nelli really has the pace, but he goes very far to the right just before the transition there and seems to slightly sacrifice line on the way into zone 2 there, Adam. Not a perfect line.
Absolutely, Mike. Definitely a bit of a scrappy battle, I would imagine. So Ryan Nelli putting down a run, but it was a bit of a shallow and messy run throughout some of the zones, not fulfilling it as much as Alex Butler done.
Yeah.
But Alex was there with him trying to deal with that line.
Yeah, and Butler initiated a little bit early there, didn't quite flick the car, went for a straight line initiation and seemed to lose a bit of speed on the handbrake, had to adjust big time as a result as well. So little bit of a little bit of column A in one, little bit of column B in the other. Butler losing parts off the back of the BMW as he progresses through the track. The judges have spoken, and they have spoken indeed. It is Alex Butler that goes through to the Great 8, continues his championship charge. Ryan Nelli bows out, very close battle, but I think overall
absolutely, Mike.
Butler just about having
today
it.
Could be Butler's day. You never know, he can make it all the way to the podium today. After having car issues start today and making his way back and putting on a show for us, he's really shining through. Next up anyways, we're going to our next battle, Mike. It's the one and only.
It's Danny Devine on the line, who is in second place in the championship and has a chance now to take that first place in the championship. Huge run for him, because Jake Davey has bowed out in the top 32. Standing in his way, it is the rookie driver who is flying high, who's getting better every single solitary round. It's Bartek Blejetski in the lead position, who is incidentally also the higher qualifier, being in the lead first. So Danny Devine, not looking like a typical Danny Devine. He's got transmission issues. He looks so good when the car is working with him, but I don't think that car is 100% this weekend.
Absolutely. He's usually a very confident young man and really believes in himself and his skill, and so he should, because he's proven it time and time again as to why he should. But as you saw there when I was down talking to him about the top 16 parade, he is having issues with that car today. He's still hoping for the best. He's still aiming for that top spot, but Bartek might just take him down. You never know what way this is going to go. As we see both the drivers gridded up and getting ready to start off, Bartek is going to take the lead position first, followed by the young Daniel Devine.
So just waiting on some news here. Slight delay on the start line there. The door is open and we're just fixing the track here. Yeah, so just fixing the track here, just in case you can't see it on the live stream, just a little bit of damage to the track. That's being fixed in order to have a consistent track for everyone. And we are ready to rock. Tyres are warmed. Bartek with the door open. These cars get very hot in the evening sun. You could see 40 degrees inside the car, 40 degrees Celsius, I mean, of course, inside the car. And yeah, it gets tough, and the fatigue tends to set in. You generally don't have a lot of sleep leading up to drift week as well, so the fatigue really sets in this time of the afternoon in the sunshine. But we are ready to rock. They'll have no time for fatigue, because Bartek Blejetski has flicked his BMW. Danny Devine is right there with him. His bonnet is flapping in the breeze, trying to keep his 180SX cool as the drivers collect the cone there. Danny Devine now really has to put the 180 on the door of Bartek here, because he has to make his way into the Great 8. Bartek gets a really fast transition. Danny Devine sacrifices out of zone 3. And, I don't know, Bartek looking a little bit better there in the lead than Danny did in the chase, possibly, Adam.
Quite possibly the car issues Daniel Devine are having may have affected his confidence and the running of that car. But Bartek is still on form, as always, a very dialed in and technical driver. Although he may not have all the power, he knows well how to get that car where it needs to be. Yeah, so Jake Davey was on 201 points coming into this round. Danny Devine was on 182, so by virtue of him taking a place in the top 16 and Jake Davey bowing out a little bit earlier, there is, he will have gained a few points on him already. So it's very important for Danny Devine if he wants to win this championship, and I know that is their goal. I speak with his dad Charlie almost every other week at work. They buy a lot of stuff from us, and I know that is the goal, but they're also aware that it is a year with a new engine, and it is maybe a testing year as well. So I think they're also quite glad to be where they are in second in the championship. Testing year, Mike, and he's second in the championship.
Second in the championship,
that's
yeah.
Not a testing year. That's a year just with a new engine. That's
yeah,
all that is.
Exactly.
That's no testing. Exactly.
But Bartek Blejetski, I spoke with Maciek in the pits there. Maciek Blejetski earlier. He's delighted with Bartek's performance. Look at this from the young Blejetski, right on the quarter panel of Danny Devine. Now Devine with that typical Devine lead run there. Beautiful lead line from Devine. Now he pulls a little bit of a gap, and Bartek goes on the inside line in the track in order to try to cut the gap and find proximity, but the judges will deduct him points for being shallow. Perfect lead line, pretty much bang on lead line, and Bartek crosses the line. I can't separate them, Adam. That's a very tight one, and it's a huge call for the championship.
I was just about to say, Mike, I can't separate them either, and I'm so glad to where the commentators and the judges were over there, because it was too close for my liking. I don't even know what to say. Daniel Devine put on a Devine lead run, same way Bartek done as well. But Bartek has a small bit of proximity, but he makes that dive towards zone 4 there, as we can see on the replay on the live stream. Once again, if you are here in attendance, don't forget to tune in on the live stream so you can watch the replays the same time as us.
Yeah, lots of support there for Denny in the comments as well. And let's see what the judges think. I'm just trying to overhear the judges here a little bit, trying to eavesdrop on Tomas Falvey's having a chat there with Connor and Kieran Hynes. So we are hearing possibly a result here. I couldn't split them there anyway, to be honest, Adam. I thought it was a very, very close one. So we'll just wait for the graphic to come on screen here. And Okay, so one more time is the call from the judges, guys. One more time is the call from the judges. We are going to run them one more time. The judges can separate them. The championship charge has to hold back for both of these drivers, and one more time is the call. We'll be treated to this battle again because, you know what, I think that is the right call. It was pretty much one cancelled the other out, and one more time.
I absolutely agree with you, Mike. Both drivers had an unbelievable lead run. Their chase runs weren't the best, but they weren't bad. They were very similar to each other, so one more time is the safest and fairest option.
It is indeed. Now from over the road here in County Down, it's Peter Malloy against Erikas Navitzkos in the top 16. The third battle of the top 16 on the left hand side of the bracket. And Peter Malloy, the higher qualifier, is to lead us in here in the summer sunshine here in Bishopscourt on the coast, on the northeast coast of Ireland. Beautiful from both BMW drivers. So many Beamers in this part of the championship as well. It's fantastic to see it. So the twin E46 battle. Oh, really nice lead run there from Malloy. But Navitzkos is right there with him, maybe not touching him, but you know what? Navitzkos is after getting through his last battle by doing exactly the same thing, consistent chase.
Absolutely, Mike. He was a small bit scrappy there towards the second half of the run here. As you can see, the kind of gap opens up around zone 2 as Peter Malloy pushes out. Coming out just a small bit shallow, transitioning exactly where he's meant to transition. Erikas Navitzkos is dealing with it all, to be honest. He's there with him. The more I watch it back, I actually can't see any flaws with any of it. I thought when I was watching here in person, the angle wasn't as much from the chase driver, but it surely was.
Yeah, so the Lucky Day competition, Red Bull Irish Drift Series in full swing, that is for sure, as we get ready to leave the Red Bull start line. Peter Malloy becomes the chase driver now. Erikas Navitzkos is going to lead us in. We swapped them around, and Navitzkos leaves the line, closely followed by Malloy.
Absolutely. Navitzkos making a huge flick entry, getting right around for zone 1, but Malloy is there with him. He's not holding back. Navitzkos is pushing that car around the track. He said to me in the top 16 parade, he doesn't care if it doesn't come home looking as great as Kem here looking, and he's showing that he's putting on lots of angle, but Malloy is making dives, wild dives, and getting right there with him. The proximity is a lot closer. Look at this, Mike. Malloy is on his door across the line.
Yeah, as the County Down man, just after doing enough there at the end to leave the judges with that, and you know, the last thing that the judges remember as that proximity over the line. Now Malloy, let's see, was he close enough across the battle? Possibly was, and the results are about to drop in, and we can announce it is Peter Malloy goes through to the Grade 8, the County Down man,
well
the local man, to the delight of the...
Absolutely on form all day, so he has.
Yeah, delight of the fans. Peter Malloy, along with his brother Andrew, both gentlemen of the sport, and he has booked his place at the expense of Erikas Navitzkos in the Grade 8. So Peter Malloy moves through, and he will be taking on the winner of the next battle, where we will see Dean Davey against Marcus Heinen. So this is another young gun battle, as we tend to see quite a lot in Pro 2, and it's an all Sylvia battle for once. And yeah, it's going to be definitely, I would say this one is going to have fireworks, because both these drivers are quite aggressive.
Absolutely, Mike. As we said earlier, Dean Davey, probably the wilder of the two Davey brothers. He knows how to do the Davey do, and he knows how to be wild, precise, and still get the best score possible following qualifying lines the way they're meant to be done. But Max Heinen Jr. is another aggressive driver. He's a hard charger for sure, Mike. He's always on the door when he's in the chase position. We're going to see it this time. But this time, it's Max Heinen Jr. in the lead position. He flicks the car in, but Dean Davey is there with him. Lots of angle from both cars. It's like copy and paste when he said two cars. Drops the tyre a small bit for the lead car, but the chase car follows with him. Mike, I don't even know what to say. Both cars are doing great here.
Yeah, loving the initiation there from both of the guys. Look at the dive from Davey. Oh, wow, fantastic dive through the transition from Davey. Dives onto the other side of Heinen, pops through the smoke and across the line. S13 versus S13, loving this. Look at the initiation from both drivers. I think both actually dropped a wheel as a result of that big flick angle initiation. Look at this from Heinen now. It's pretty much absolutely perfect. Leaves the zone a tad early, but the judges won't crucify him for that. Love that dive from Davey. Watch this now. He just pops it through the transition. and comes out the other side of the smoke. Maybe cuts the track a tiny bit, but you know what? He's right on the quarter, and he probably had to just...
Do you know what, Mike? Earlier on you mentioned the word tandem drifting, and that's exactly what tandem drifting was just there. The lead driver putting down a great line, and the chase driver following it and putting it right up to him, duplicating everything he does. But this time we're going to swap it around, and it's going to be the young Dean Davey in the lead position, while Mark Heinen will be in the chase position. As I said before, Mark Heinen, a hard charger, so this could be an interesting one.
Yeah, and of course a place in pro competition open tomorrow for all the drivers who make it to the final four. So also the glory of competing with the big boys in the pro class tomorrow with the semi-slick racing tyres, and the big audience watching tomorrow. So a lot at stake here for these guys, as well as their own championship hopes. And let's see if we're going to see fireworks once again in this one. Marcus Heinen is a little bit under pressure here. He has to pull out something. He has to pull out a big chase. What's he going to do here in the chase position?
I don't know, Mike, but it's Dean Davey in the lead position. Looked like he was a small bit shallow there. I couldn't really see it with all the tyre smoke still flushing around the track here. But Dean Davey, bit more of a wilder lead run, I must say so. A bit more scrappy. And Mark Heinen is trying to do everything he can to push up. Look at his dive. Lots of angle from both cars. I'm sure media team will get some beautiful photos of that. Dean Davey trying to push it out to the outer zone of zone 4 and try to get as wide as possible. We can hear the crowd clapping, reacting to that one.
The judges look like a goat looking into a washing machine with the level of confusion that's going on there now. They don't know what to do.
Not have described that better. I just looked at Tomas Fowley's face and it's literally like,
they just look perplexed. What am I going to do here? Because I'm looking at that when I tried to put on my judge's hat for a minute, and I don't know, I can't really split them, to be honest. I mean, Marcus, maybe Davey had a tad more aggression, but Marcus was also very good in the chase position there, and it might come down to the lead runs in this one, because I think it was very close on both of them, and they might just about cancel each other out. But if they are going to be separated, it's going to be like a 5-5, 6-4 kind of thing. It's going to be extremely close.
I would imagine very, very close, Mike. As I said before, I'm so glad we're commentators and not judges, because I would not like to be making these decisions, because we're only in the top 16. We're in the Pro 2 category, not the Pro 1. These are some drivers that have only started this year, are not driving that long, don't have the most powerful cars, but watch the battles we're seeing. These drivers can't be separated, and it's only top 16. We still have the grade A in the top 4 to go.
Yeah, absolutely. So we look at the first one here again. Both drivers dropping a wheel, maybe Davey dropping it a little bit more so than Heinen, just goes maybe slightly further off track. Heinen is pretty much on a perfect line. Now, Heinen slows here in the transition, allows Davey to get right on the door. Then Davey does a great transition, pops through the smoke, and gets right on the door of Heinen as they cross the line. Now we'll get to watch the second replay in a second, and we do. So watch this lovely flick entry from Davey, but Davey is not in the on that outside line in the first zone. He's a little bit wide, or not, a little bit shallow, sorry. Heinen gets into formation like really nicely with him there around zone 2, and then does pretty much what Davey did to him, finds the door on the transition, and then finds the driver's door on the transition as well. Very similar lines from both cars.
Do you know what, Mike? I think it could be zone 1 where things are really deciding things out, because there's definitely a different line initiation from both drivers. But I do know we have
a result, and the result is, guys, you're going to be treated to this one again. It's another one more time between Marcus Heinen and Dean Davey, and you know what? I think that is the correct result. We're going to be treated to seeing that battle again, and I could not separate them, to be honest, Adam. I'd have to agree with the judges.
Neither of us could.
So Dean Davey and Marcus Heinen will have to put the cars through the torture of that battle again, and we move it along in the interest of keeping the show going here at IDS. It's all about the action here. So Jamie Hynes is on the line, the Pro 2 junior driver who qualified so highly against Dylan Wilson, who is charging through the championship here, third in the championship currently. And again, you know the way it's going with Jake Davey being out, Dylan Wilson might be just casting an eye on this championship here and saying this one still could be mine.
Absolutely, a name that has definitely popped up a lot throughout the championship, but he's really starting to show why today. But Jamie Hynes, a very talented young driver. Look at that flick, Mike. Look at the angle on that run. Nearly dropping a tyre, but I think he just about keeps it in. Dylan Wilson dealing with it all, putting it right up onto the door of that Sylvia, driven by Jamie Hynes, young Jamie Hynes, right on the outer side of zone 2 and coming for zone 3. Mike, this is inseparable. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, loving this from both drivers. Wilson utilising maybe a slight lack of angle. The chase driver is supposed to mimic the lead driver's angle. Maybe Wilson there just at the end, slightly less angle, but overall a nice chase from him. But you know, that chase, as you mentioned there, Adam, that chase was only made possible because Jamie Hynes put in a textbook lead run, very tidy, not the fastest run in the world maybe. Wilson maybe could have had a little bit more of the angle matching, but you know, yeah, he quite does match it there over the line, to be fair. So I think it's the judges just, I can hear over here, they're asking to see this one again here, the initiation. So they're watching the initiation. Is it something that Wilson did funny? Yeah, so Jamie Hynes just doing a bit of a waiver there, I think I'm overhearing. But you know what? I think it's still all to play for. I think it might be 5-5-6-4 kind of thing. 5-5 possibly so far, and still totally and utterly all to play for. Dylan Wilson, once again, guys, he is in third position in this championship, and he will be hoping to find some more points on both Danny Devine and Jake Davey.
Absolutely, and will this be his opportunity? We're not too sure. We're about to find out. It's Dylan Wilson in the lead position this time, followed by the young Jamie Hynes, a future star for sure. Dylan Wilson in the lead position, big flick, same style as Jamie Hynes, but right deep into that zone. But Jamie Hynes is on the door, he's keeping with him. Dylan Wilson using all the power of that BMW, showing why it should be a car that reaches the podium this weekend. But young Jamie Hynes is still with him. Nearly getting lost in smoke there. Zone 3, both cars there. I think Jamie Hynes has a small tap of the wall. Dylan Wilson getting into the zone perfectly. Maybe a small bit on the shallow side of zone 4, but still beautiful.
Yeah, loving the chase there over the line from young Jamie Hynes. Yeah, another tough one to call here, Adam. I mean, let's have a look at this one again here. I was watching it in the flesh. Let's just watch it back on the replay here. And okay, so Hynes there might have just been able to find the back wheel a little bit more, but there he makes the dive and really gets on the quarter panel of Dylan. So the judges will have to make a decision on this one, and it's going to be another very tight one. And we're not seeing an awful lot of mistakes now, you know, in the top 16. We're actually seeing the battles being decided by aggression from the chase driver, which is exactly the way that we want it to be decided.
Absolutely, absolutely, and it's wild to think, like, as I said, Mike, Jamie Hynes only 16 years of age. What were you doing when you were 16? I couldn't imagine it was this anyways, or at that level.
I was falling off motorbikes, actually. That's what I was doing.
I
Genuinely.
I suppose you can't fall off a drift car.
Well,
unless you stand on it.
Damien Mulvey did it.
Fair enough.
You can YouTube that man falls off drift car. Damien Mulvey falls off drift car. He stood on the roof and let the car trundle away in first gear, but then I think the car went through a catch fence or something. He fell off the roof, and yeah, it was fantastic.
Absolutely.
So you can fall off a drift car.
I was proven wrong.
Yeah, YouTube that, guys. It's down in Fermoy, down in Pro Drift many moons ago. Good times. Yeah, so
we're just waiting for our judges to give us a result here. They're still watching back replays, as you described it earlier, Mike. It's like a goat staring into a washing machine. They haven't a notion what's going on. They don't know what to do. They're like, it's top 16, lads. I thought we're going to have an easy day. It's Pro 2.
Yeah,
what is going on? Why is everything so challenging?
Top 16, exactly. As they look to the Marshall there, they look to Owen or Marshall. Or Jay, is it? It's Jay, is it? Sorry, it's Jay. Yeah, Jay or Marshall. As for any information, and of course, when you're in the results box, it's nerve-wracking. You're just waiting. It seems like an eternity.
Jamie Hynes here. Jamie Hynes already fell there. He totally thought no one was going to say that. He nearly lamped
We're
himself.
watching you, Jamie.
You heard of falling off a drift car, now he's falling
over. We might have a dance off.
Car.
Oh, he's taking out the James Dean top, is he? He is. For points from the judges, he's trying to take out the James Dean top now here.
I wonder if he's by kids' sizes.
For me?
You'd probably fit in the same clothes, I suppose.
I would indeed.
May as well shout out Jay's hat here as well. Look how stylish that is.
Yeah, we'll get the crowd involved now a little bit later on for the results as we whittle it down through the grade 8 and top 4. And the judges, once again, guys, watching the replay here, if you want to see it on your track side, get out the phones, have a look on the IDS YouTube and see what we are seeing here in the tower. Now, Jamie Hynes was a little bit wider. Dylan definitely sacrificing outer zone 3. Pretty much perfect lead run from Hynes. Now we swapped them around. Let's see what Dylan's lead run was like. Hynes runs it teeny bit wide, but does get back into the pocket. Hynes sacrifices zone 2 there at the start as well, very much in order to get the proximity. Now pops back through the smoke, and it's a little bit of a better chase line, I would say, from Hynes. And definitely the proximity over line. I think it's either a one more time or Hynes might shave it, in my opinion.
You know, Mike, I have a feeling it's going to be a one more time, to be honest. I think we have a result in from our judges.
Oh,
it's not one more time.
It's a result, guys, and we can announce that Jamie Hynes does indeed go through to the Great 8. The crowd go wild. Dylan has to bow out of competition, and that gives a lifeline to Jake Davey in the championship. However, Danny Devine is still in the hunt for this championship. So the top 2 of the top 3 have bowed out of competition relatively early. Now, Dylan Wilson has closed up on Jake Davey a small bit because he made it one battle bracket further on, as did Danny Devine, who happens to be on the line, because we're back to the one more time between Danny Devine and Bartek Blejetski. So if Danny Devine should win this could be Danny Devine taking the lead in this championship into the final round, and we are go.
Absolutely, Mike. Bartek, a very modest young fella, just shows up on the day and does what needs to be done. Look at the pace of him coming in through here. Bartek putting the outside line, dropping a wheel, just slightly knocking the cone out of the way, but Daniel Devine is there with him, left foot braking. We can see it. The angle just isn't there though from Daniel Devine around zone 2. Bartek is still going, trying to get as much pace and proximity away from the chase driver. Look at the angle as they pass the judging tower here in Bishopscourt, Diff and Drift. Daniel Devine doing everything to put a mark on that door. I don't know, will it be enough, Mike? We'll have to see when they swap it around.
Well, you know what? Worst case scenario here is if Danny Devine has knocked out of competition now, he gains a few points on Jake Davey, and this championship goes into the final round even tighter than it was coming into round 4 here. So
that means going straight into the final with one round left for a really wild day.
Yeah, it's going to be so tight at the top, but let's say nothing yet. I mean, it's not over yet. Definitely, I would say Danny Devine is still in with a fighting chance here. He's not looking like the Danny Devine that we've seen all along this round quite. I'm not sure. He just doesn't look quite having, like, he's driving perfectly well. Yeah, he just doesn't quite have the pace or something that he seemed to have all season.
A lot of rounds we have had, Mike, have been quite wet, but that car should have the power, no matter wet or dry, to do what it usually does. Last time we were up here in Bishopscourt, we saw Daniel Devine getting on the podium spot, if I'm correct in saying that, if not getting close. But car issues, once again, throughout several different rounds could be effective that, and the car not being set up right. Too much time spent on repairing it rather than setting up to the way he wants it.
Yeah, possibly, and I know he was having some heating issues there. His dad Charlie lifting the bonnet in that car there, installing some extra fans and stuff, so taking a little second to cool down the S13 there with the 2J fitted. And we are ready to rock here at IDS round 4. Both cars ready to go from the Red Bull start line. We have a green light, and this could be a big battle for the championship, a big run for the championship, in fact, as Danny Devine leads us in. Handbrakes it into the first zone there. Bartek Blejetski is right with him here though. Beautiful footage there from the drone as they pass us by here in the tower. Oh, but Bartek makes a big mistake, overcommits and has to back out of it. Huge mistake. Not a huge mistake maybe, but in terms of this battle it might be a huge mistake. It's after putting him into a compromised position here. Is Danny Devine about to take a chunk out of this championship? Oh, I'm not sure, but Bartek was looking good there, but maybe just overcommitted. Did Danny slow down? Let's have another look, but I'm not sure. It looked like the chase driver there possibly just overcommitted. Although Danny did seem to waver a little bit there.
Small bit, Mike,
maybe didn't get on the power quick enough.
Judges will look back and I'd say Bartek did stall up a little bit, as you said, and having to cut the track then completely missing zone 3.
Yeah,
but gets back up in the door towards zone 4.
Not sure if Danny just maybe came off throttle a little bit prematurely there. So if the result goes one way or the other, we'll know what the judges are thinking. And indeed it was that. And Bartek Blejetski goes through to the Great 8.
Absolutely, Mike. Do you know what, Mike? I'm still kind of unsure on that one because there's a few different points here. I think we're just going to go over to our lead judge, Kieran Hynes, to explain the result of that one.
It all comes down there to the last run, to the second run. When you go down by the wall, and if you've seen Bartek checks up, but actually if you watch the replay, Daniel Devine's front wheels, he was on lock, his wheels straighten up, so he's actually starting to grab a bit of understeer, then he gets back on the power again. So he checked up majorly, that's what actually caused that. and he had a slight advantage after the first round, so that was enough for him to take the win.
Yeah, we just spotted it there on the replay ourselves, Adam. Perfect. Thank you, Kieran Hynes. So that's confirmation there from the judges. Denny Devine just checking up there a little bit on the second zone. Bartek Blejetski had to take evasive action. Denny Devine is out of competition, meaning your top 3 championship drivers are now out of competition. But crucially, Denny Devine and Dylan Wilson have both gone one bracket further than Jake Davey, so it is even tighter at the top than it was coming into this round, which is setting us up for crazy finale. And who knows, I mean, Alex Butler, if he stays in competition, and a couple more drivers might even creep up into those positions as well if they have a good round here. So it's all going down here. It's crazy stuff here at round 4.
Absolutely, be seeing that in a few weeks' time down in Watergrass Hill, down in Cork, the other side of the country. Less of a drive for us. Definitely a short drive for you, but it'll definitely be a jam-packed day. That's going to be wild and full of entertainment, because we're going to see some insane driving from all drivers fighting out to get that top spot, not just in a round, but in the championship.
Indeed. So that means that we move it along to the next battle. It is Andrew Malloy from County Down versus Kieran Lynch from County Cork. Speaking of Cork and Down, and a lovely entry there from Andrew Malloy. Absolute gentleman outside of the car, absolute animal inside, and a beautiful line from Malloy. Kieran Lynch, maybe not such a perfect chase run there, not the perfect line from Lynch. He was a little bit shallow on the initiation. Now they go on to the last transition. Lynch is on the inside of the track. Little bit of a wrong line from Lynch throughout the course there, Adam.
Absolutely, Mike. He did look quite scrappy from the chase driver there, Kieran Lynch. Not on the form that he has been on all day, but you can see that beautiful looking E36 filling every zone the way the judges want to see. I wonder if I keep saying how good looking that car is, he'll build me one.
He might.
Just a duplicate, that's all I want. I don't even have to drive it. If it's copyright, I don't care. I just want to look at it every day. It's beautiful.
He's a man of style. He bought a set of work wheels from us in Group D there, maybe, I don't know, 4 or 6 months ago for his chaser, and we were a little bit iffy on the fitment because he was going quite wide on the back and front as well, actually, but he made it work, and it's a fantastic looking thing. So
a man of style.
A man of style, exactly.
Absolutely, and I agree with it.
A man of style is Andrew Malloy, just over the road here as well. I believe Castlewellan, if I'm not mistaken. So just over the road here. I passed it on my way up here this morning. So we are ready to rock with the second half of this battle. I would say it is advantage Malloy, but Kieran Lynch has all the aggression here in the lead position, flicks it in, should theoretically have the faster car as well, should Lynch. So let's see. Now Malloy's in big trouble here. It's all after changing right away there, Adam, because Malloy was very, very straight there around zone 1.
Very, very straight there around zone 1, Mike, but it did look like Kieran Lynch kind of stalled up just a little bit. You can even see here the car's washing for him. I'm not too sure is he having a car issue or what's the story, but Malloy is trying to deal with all that and stay on the door of him. Oh, Mike, I don't know. Look here.
Yeah, it
kind of looks like Kieran
Conor Falvey
Lynch
looks stressed.
Like
it's his first day judging pro. It's his well, no, he doesn't look confused now. He just looks stressed. It's his first day judging pro competition, I believe, and he's seeing firsthand now, like, what am I going to do here? This one is just so that's why you need 3 judges. You know, each are picking out a little bit of nuances from the runs, and a bit of a messy one there. But Andrew Malloy, guys, goes through to the Grade 8. Andrew Malloy goes through to the Grade 8, and so that is all she wrote for Kieran Lynch.
Absolutely, he'll be happy with that day anyways, Mike, regardless, because it was a great result for him, making his way all the way to the top 16. Either way, we're going to move on to our next battle. We'll be seeing more of Andrew Malloy's beautiful E36 later on.
You'll be delighted, Adam.
Oh, absolutely delighted. I love the look of that car. I don't know if I've said that before. Anyways, moving on to our next battle. It's the one, the only, the great character, Declan Byrne, taking on the hard charger, a very aggressive and powerful driver, Justin Murphy. 2 Pro 2 drivers, both experienced, both well able. This is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, Danger Declan versus Justin Murphy, who was so crazy that he rolled the car in the first lap of qualifying in round 1, got it back on the 4 wheels, fixed it, and qualified it in the second one. And look at this from Murphy. He's not giving an inch to Declan Byrne on initiation here. Beautiful entry from both drivers.
Absolutely, Mike. Declan Byrne giving it everything to get away from Justin Murphy. But Justin Murphy's like, no, come back here. I'm getting on your door, he says. Declan Byrne putting down a great line, but Justin Murphy is matching it. The proximity opens up just a small bit towards the end of the track. Justin Murphy a bit shallow on zone 4, and Declan Byrne was right in there. Great run from Declan Byrne. We can watch this again here on the replay and the live stream. Unbelievable run from both drivers. The aggression from Justin Murphy is exactly what I expected. Look at that dive for zone 2, Mike. He's there, he's matching the angle. Proximity isn't right there with him, but he's putting out a great line and a great chase.
Yeah, well, what I really like about Declan Byrne's driving is you can come in with total confidence in behind him in the chase position. You pretty much know that he's going to be on line, even though he might go for the wild entry. He pulls it off pretty much every time, and he's just one of those drivers that you can follow in full steam, and you know that you're not going to end up in a heap inside, and you know, one car made out of two, and you know, a big crash basically.
Bit of a Frankenstein of a car after that.
Yeah, so that's one of the best points about Declan Byrne and his lead driving. Now Justin Murphy is all aggression again. Justin can be, the consistency sometimes might not be there, but when he's on it, he's an event winner. So let's see if he has gotten out of the right side of the bed today.
Absolutely, Justin Murphy, an aggressive driver, but so is Declan Byrne when he wants to be, and we can see that. Justin Murphy shallow through zone 1, coming into the start, leaving it, and then come back into towards the end, and Declan Byrne is there with him the whole way. Look at this, Mike. Declan Byrne is matching angle, pushing up on the door, trying to mark the door of Justin Murphy. Transition, small bit of a gap, but look at this again, another huge dive from Declan Byrne. He is flying it. Justin Murphy, small bit shallow again for zone 4. Declan Byrne putting out a great line. I don't mean to favour anybody. Justin Murphy is an insane driver. We've seen that time and time again, but Declan Byrne's runs there. Wow.
Yeah, that's aggression worthy of a final all day long. Look at that, literally pushing Murphy around on the first or the second corner there, sorry. I mean, worthy of a final all day long, that one was. And he's being rewarded for it, guys. Round of applause for both drivers. Justin Murphy and Declan Byrne, and going through to the Great 8, we can announce it's Declan Byrne books his place in the Great 8. And Justin Murphy exits competition in the top 16. Nothing you could do about that one, to be honest, for Byrne.
Mike.
And nice run from Murphy as well there. But we cross him off our battle sheet here.
Such a shame. Justin Murphy was putting down great runs all day, and definitely a very entertaining driver to watch. So it would have been lovely to see him make his way into the Great 8. But really, that time Declan Byrne shined through and showed. Hopefully, we don't have a repeat of what happened here in round 2 and having a bit of carriage. I think it was a shaft or something like that went for him. And hopefully, we don't see that again.
Yeah, Justin Murphy, you know, when I say that he was, you know, inconsistent, I meant maybe his finishing positions. He's always there or thereabouts in battles. He's always qualifying. He's always there or thereabouts. But sometimes he can bow out like this in the top 16. Other times he gets really far into competition. I guess that's for everyone, you know, really. But love seeing Justin Murphy. But that is all she wrote for him. And we moved along to our last battle of this side of the top 16. It is Conor Dugen versus Clark Hatton. It's an all BMW battle, but it's very different. It is a V8 BMW engined BMW E46 and an M2 with 6-cylinder turbo power in the hands of young Clark Hatton.
I say Mike, Clark Hatton very shallow there throughout zone 1, not like what we've seen of him earlier, but Conor Duggan's using all 8 cylinders for his first round this year, and he's making it worth his while, getting into each zone the way it should be. Clark Hatton trying to be there with him. Look at the proximity on that transition, rubbing the front bumper against the rear bash bar of Conor Duggan's car.
Yeah, and Sean Healy, our head marshal there, absolutely laughing at that one. Clark Hatton, that must have seemed so close to him in the car, because there's quite a short little nose on this M2 compared to quite a lot of cars, and even in my FC, when you've got a big long bonnet on it with a big long B in front bumper, if you really closely transition, it seems so close. But this must have seemed like the back of Duggan's car was almost at the base of the windscreen.
Do not, Mike, after that transition, I'm not going to steal this joke. This one came from our track marshal Tony. I've got to take my hat off for Clark Hatton.
Wow.
I said that wrong. Do you want to say it on the mic? No, it's okay.
You're going to take
your hat off for Hatton.
That's dad joke of the century, and he is a dad, so that makes sense.
He's village. He has.
Sean Healy, our head marshal here, sent me a Snapchat last week that he's after. This is true now, guys. Right? He sent me a Snapchat last week, a big long video with this big lead up to this big joke. He sent me a big long video of his new fridge, and he said, "And I'm so disappointed. It has a leak in it." And then he opened the door, and there was a leak inside in one of the shelves. And I was like, oh man, I'm after losing 30 seconds of my life to this thing. Like,
I would not be complaining after that. I love a good old dad
joke.
That's
a good old pun. That was the worst. Like, I lost 30 seconds out of my life for this. Like,
you gained 30 seconds out of your life. You'd happy and laughter after that.
That joke of the century.
Absolutely brilliant.
Take our hats off to Clark Hatton anyway. Yeah. So we move it along to the second half of the battle. Will we be taking our hat off to hat on? I don't know. We'll have to see, because Hatton is the man who will lead us in this time, and Conor Dugen in the chase lane will surely be putting foot to floor and looking for the quarter panel of the M2.
Absolutely. Conor Dugen, known for being a hard charger and being on the door. A lot better line from the chase driver this time, Conor Dugen. And Clark Hatton is still trying to give it his all, filling zone 2. Look at this, Mike. Not as much angle from the chase driver, but he's there with him, nearly touching the front tyre. Oh my God, Conor Dugen just appeared out of nowhere, but he straightens up. Clark Hatton's on so much angle. A big mistake there from Conor Dugen, just pushing it a bit too much. Oh, contact as we cross the line.
Yeah, we were blinded by tyre smoke here. Thankfully, we'll have the option of a couple of different angles for the replay here for the judges. Lots of tyre smoke. Crazy battle there, crazy aggression from both drivers. Nice lead line here from Hatton. Conor Dugen, somehow they're finding the front wheel of that BMW. Huge proximity. Dugen then gets caught in the pocket a little bit, almost gets caught again. Dugen goes very straight for quite a long time. Gets caught in the pocket once again. Now the drone footage will tell all here. Hatton over rotates though just as he crosses the finish line.
But was there contact? Did he catch the front wheel of Clark Hatton's
or
car?
was there contact earlier which put out the geometry of Hatton's front and made him spin? You know,
possibly. It's all to tell, Mike.
It's so easy if you put the toe angle out of kilter on the front. It's so easy for these things to go absolutely crazy. They're on a knife edge anyway, and you have to have your toe angles absolutely perfect and be used to it. So if there was contact earlier, possibly there
for zone 3,
and if it made Clark Hatton's car, I mean, he should have been settled in the drift anyway. You could argue that he should have been settled in the drift at that stage, regardless of it's usually a transition that you'll get caught out on when there's a change in toe angle. It wouldn't still help while you're on the drift. It could easily make the car over rotate on you, you know.
Absolutely. You're watching the replay here in slow motion time from the drone. Same things our judges are looking at. They're really trying to see, was there any contact? The tyre smoke kind of just blocking out, censoring it event.
Tyre smoke
just
billowing
like
out of
Clark
Hatton's cabin. Even if you look at the cabin, it's coming out of his actually coming out of his driver's window.
Go back there's a tiny second. I think there was just a tiny touch of the tyres, but was that enough? It did still kind of look like Clark Hatton was about to over rotate. So I'm not too sure what way this will go. There was a lot of angle from Clark.
Yeah.
So was it just a bit too much towards end of line?
The Strom wheel sponsored M2 there. Oh yeah, look, you can see Hatton's car shaking. There was contact. You can see the shake. You can see the shake in Hatton's car there. His spoiler shook while the contact happened. So thankfully for the drone shot there, which just shows that up. So I think Hatton was definitely made contact with.
We can see Clark down on track now on the live stream as well, Mike. It looks like he is having an issue with the car. I'm not too sure if it's suspension or locking or a leak or what the story is, but the car will be taking off the track by a tow rig.
Yeah, absolutely. Recovery truck out for Clark Hatton's car. Slight coolant leak, I believe, from that as well. Not sure if it was because of the contact or not. I don't think there was any contact around the front. It might just be the sheer punishment that these cars are being put under, and maybe the rad caps are just giving out under the predefined pressure. As we see our installed fan there to get rid of the tyre smoke in the distance up here at Bishopscourt. Once again, a disused World War II airfield built in the early 40s, and was
same
actually
time you were born, wasn't it?
Yeah, same time I was born myself, and was actually in active duty, I do believe, and very, very cool to be up here and seeing such a weird. I always have a little moment here at night. You know, we stay on site here, and when you're just on your own here, if you walk down from the centre above here down to the paddock or whatever, you kind of just get a sense it's a little bit eerie, and it's quite open obviously and stuff, and it's mad to actually just walk down here and imagine that, like, when you're there at night, that there was guys taking off in bombers and literally heading off possibly for the last time in their lives from this exact spot in World War II. It's just a little bit crazy to be here and be among that history.
Absolutely, Mike. And there's history being created here as well again this weekend with some unbelievable driving by some of Ireland's top, finest and upcoming future stars within the drift community. So there is, once again, a huge shout out to all the team that's worked tirelessly and hard on putting this live stream together, as well as getting this event together. So we can see the little animations down the left hand corner. I'm only noticing it now for all our sponsors.
Yeah, absolutely. All the sponsors coming on the bottom left corner there. You can see our title sponsors, Lucky Day Competitions and Red Bull in the top right. And you can see the sponsors there flashing up: CDM Sport, driftmagazine.eu, you can catch up on all the drifting action in Ireland. ECU Master, fantastic ECUs. GMD Tyre and Service Centre, Garrett and the guys there. Group D, that's us. Loads of parts and lovely guys on the phone. Lucky Day Competitions, of course, title sponsor Nisuba. Great parts such as seat rails and all that hard to get stuff for cars. Shift AM, our media partner, putting together shows from behind the scenes. Strom Wheels being ran by half the grid at this stage. TS Drift Days, you can go down and get yourself in behind the wheel of a car with Tommy Smith, which is the TS, who is our partner as well, of course. And you can get down there to Watergrass Hill in Cork and do some track days with Tommy and the guys and get yourself out on track and do some of this.
Absolutely, Michael. We have a result in from that last battle between Conor Dugen and Clark Hatton. It will be going to the man on the tow truck at the moment. It's Clark Hatton taking the win for that run.
Clark Hatton taking the win. We did spot a little bit of contact on the drone footage there just before Clark crossed the line. It is deemed, I believe, by the judges that the contact caused Clark to go into the spin, and therefore the contact was deemed the chase car's fault. So therefore it was a run-defining moment. Clark Hatton not at fault for the contact. Conor Dugen was at fault. Therefore Clark Hatton advances after a pretty mad battle. And I do believe, do we have a one more time between Dean Davey and Marcus Heinen?
We sure do.
We do. And that is us then done for the top 16, and we will be into the Great 8. But that means that Clark Hatton will be facing off against Declan Byrne in the Great 8 should he get his car sorted. Which he hopefully will, because I think it's fine.
Hopefully so, Mike. Hopefully so. Hopefully it's only something small and little. We didn't get an official on what exactly was wrong with it. I think it's just maybe playing it safe before taking it off track, maybe doing more damage than what could have already been done. But all will tell. We'll see him back out for the Great 8 hopefully, and see some unbelievable runs. Either way, we're going to move on to our next battle. It's the one more time between... Oh, sorry, not the one more time. It's Marcus Heinen.
It is the one more time.
Sorry, Marcus Heinen versus Dean Davey. Two unbelievable drivers. They couldn't be separated last time. Will they be separated this time? We'll see. Marcus Heinen is in the lead position.
He is indeed in the lead position. Marcus Heinen leads us in. Remember, guys, this one was so close to last time. It was as you were at the end of both battles. Cancelled each other out. Lovely chase here from Davey. Gets right into the pocket. Gets the transition done very early, and as a result finds the quarter panel of Heinen, and a beautiful transition once again from Davey there, and finds the other quarter panel. A tiny bit shallow there from Davey, but you know what? He was within, if you go really old school, within that 3 metre rule we used to speak about 40 decades ago. So, you know, the judges won't penalise him for being on slightly offline there, because he was so much in the pocket with Heinen. He kind of had to be right there because of proximity. Look at this from Davey. I mean, Heinen is making it easy because he's giving him actually quite a nice lead run apart from that slight waver on the wall there. Maybe a bit of contact, but the big dive there from Davey just onto the quarter.
Big dive, Mike, and if you look at Marcus Heinen, wasn't too deep, if not maybe in a bit shallow for a zone 4. So that'll definitely be something the judges will be taking into consideration when they're choosing the winner of this. This time we're going to swap it around. It's going to be Dean Davey, the one of the only two Davey brothers in the Pro 2 category.
Yeah, and Nicky, of course, will be competing tomorrow on Pro.
Of course, he might be seeing his son taking it on with him. Unfortunately, Jake Davey is being knocked out, our current top of the Pro 2 championship. But Dean Davey is trying to show why he can also do it and have the bragging rights at the dinner table this weekend. Yeah, well, Jake Davey was on 201, Denny Devine was on 182, and Dylan Wilson was on 164. There were 100 available for a win, and then it goes 85. I think then is it 70, I think, or 75? I don't know, I forget. I'm old. And so basically Dylan Wilson and Denny Devine will be after gaining on Jake Davey. Luke Talley's out. Andrew Malloy. Okay, guys, Andrew Malloy and Peter Malloy are both still in competition, right? Correct. So Andrew Malloy was on 159 points. Peter Malloy was on 146 points. Alex Butler's on 123, a little bit further back, but he's still in competition. So basically, the top 3 have been knocked out already, including Jake Davey, who was out in the top 32. Denny Devine and Dylan Wilson made top 16. Then it's Andrew Malloy, Luke Talley, Peter Malloy, who are still in competition. So this is going to be super tight. It's going to be well wide open. Now let's see if Dean Davey can make his way up the championship, and Marcus Heinen will be looking to do the same. Marcus Heinen is on 103 points. If he was to take a win today, he's right back in contention for the championship as well. He's going to have to do a tiny bit better here, because I think Davey had the proximity, but he does. Look at this dive from Heinen. Beautiful dive onto the door. Mike, I think this one will definitely be down to the chase runs from both drivers, because we can see the lead runs are very, very similar, both on line and angle from both drivers, and we've seen the 2 runs when you put them side to side. But the proximity was definitely a lot closer for Dean Davey. So Mark Heinen could have got a bit more up on that door, but maybe just didn't have the power and the grip. I think we do have a result in, Mike, and I will be going to the one, the only, Dean Davey. He'll continue to do how the Davies do it. Dean Davey making his way into the top 8.
Yeah, big cheers from the crowd there to that result. Marcus Heinen will be disappointed to bow out, but he did a great job there overall on the 2 runs. But Dean Davey looking, you know what, I'm not going to count Dean Davey out for an event win if he's driving like that, but he has to get through the one and only Peter Malloy in the Grade 8. So that is our top 16 done and dusted, guys, which means we are moving on to the next bracket. It is the Grade 8 here at IDS Pro 2 Round 4 2025 here in Bishopscourt, Diff and Drift in the beautiful County Down.
Absolutely, Mike. Proudly brought to you by Red Bull Energy and Lucky Day competitions. Red Bull for all your thirst-quenching energy drinks, along with Lucky Day competitions, who run many competitions where you may have the chance to win a holiday home, a car, a toaster. I don't know what they do nowadays, but they do everything.
You could win a twin cam, you could win a silage outfit, you could win a villa in Spain.
Absolutely. I'd love to win all 3. But either way, we're going to go into it now. It's Alex Butler, our top qualifier, in the lead position, followed by Bartek Blejetski. Put on the door. Alex Butler, who had car issues earlier in the day, does not have many more, and he's making full use of that car, as we can see here on the live stream. It looks absolutely unreal with his drone footage. Bartek is following the lead driver as best as he possibly can, and he's doing a great job of it. Alex Butler a bit too deep there on the entry for zone 4, and then meaning that comes too shallow when he tries to follow through.
Yeah, so Alex dialing on quite a lot of angle there on the last transition just before he got the car rotated. We'll just have a look at it here now. I mean, nothing too noteworthy for the start of the run. Nice from both drivers, nice lead, nice chase. Watch this here now. Alex just seemed to dial on a tad. As I looked at it in real life here, it's not as evident from that angle, but just looking out the window here, nothing hectic, but you know, maybe just a little bit of angle dialed on there, which might have put Bartek off. But you know what? I don't think.
Zone 4 though, Mike. Zone 4 has really been a game changer for a lot of the battles so far today, and I think it's going to be one in this as well.
Yeah, quite possible. Bartek leads us in now. He looks defiant in his picture there. Let's see if he is. Alex Butler still with championship hopes here in this Pro 2 championship. Alex once again doing what he did in the last battle, entering a little bit early, maybe could leave his initiation another 5 or 10 feet just to get into the pocket. Now Bartek runs very wide, drops 2 wheels, I would say there, Adam. Big mistake from Bartek. Now Alex Butler makes the big dive onto the door. Does he find the door once again? He cuts the track a little bit to do it. Lovely wide line from Bartek, and they cross the line. Very tight one.
Very tight. There's mistakes from both drivers in both runs in both positions. As you said there, Bartek does drop 2 tyres. We'll see here on the replay right now. Look at that. On zone 2, Bartek drops 2 tyres, nearly keeping 1 in, but unfortunately doesn't.
Yeah,
and Alex is trying to deal with that as best as he can.
Yeah, one wheel maybe was just on the edge of the line, but I think it's going to be considered over it, to be honest. So, you know, 2 wheels dropped is a significant deduction. 1 wheel is a small deduction, 2 wheels a larger deduction, 3 wheels a really big deduction, 4 wheels is 0. So 2 wheels off is going to be a big factor of this one there for Bartek. Not sure if it's enough to overturn it, but the judges are still in discussion about this one, so that would tell me that it's pretty close.
Absolutely, Mike, absolutely. As we can see, both 2 drivers lined up there in SD Aero sponsored E36 and the Assured Power E46 waiting on their result.
As we see the public vote here as well, guys, we also give out a prize there for the hard charger of the event. So if any driver stands out to you, or whatever driver does stand out to you, please get in the comments on the YouTube. If you're here at the event as well, get out the phones, and if any one driver impressed you quite a lot, get in the comments, fire it in there. The staff here will be keeping an eye on the comments, and they will be totting up, and there is a trophy and a presentation for the hard charger. Anyone stand out to you, Adam?
There's a few standing out to me, Mike. Some that have been knocked out of competition already. I won't say any.
Don't say any names. Yeah, okay.
Just in case I meet him later on in the pits, and I don't say someone else's
Are
name.
you sway the crowd a little bit?
That too.
You know.
That too.
Yeah.
That
so
too.
get in the comments, guys. If you think there has been a hard charger, whoever you think should have got that trophy for this event, it's something new that we've brought in, and it's a crowd vote. So get involved, get in the comments, and we are ready for a result here and going through to the final four. It's Alex Butler goes through to the final four.
The screams here in the crowd, Mike.
Oh,
People over the moon for Alex.
New throats, please, in the crowd. But Alex Butler delighted with life. And you know what? Alex Butler might not be that far back in this championship either. I think that this championship is going to be winnable by about, I'm going to say, 6 drivers coming into the last round, if not 7.
Do you know, Mike, I said it earlier and I'll say it again. I think this could be Alex Butler's weekend. I was chatting to him earlier on. He was a bit worried about the car, but he got it fixed. He got it turned around faster than he expected, and he's back out there all day, and he's making full use of that gearbox despite having issues. So we're just waiting on our next battle to get lined up.
Yeah, so we are just hearing there that Dean Davey, because he just had that one more time just before we moved on to the Great 8. We're going to skip Peter Malloy and Dean Davey in order to let Dean Davey get ready. So we go to the right-hand side of the bracket, meaning that we will now see Jamie Hynes face off against Andrew Malloy.
This will be a great one now, Mike. Young Jamie Hynes, not that experienced, but well capable and well used to, or not even used to, sorry, well able to put it on the door of these experienced drivers. And Andrew Malloy, I suppose I may say it, shouldn't I? The best looking car in the grid, in my opinion.
The best looking car on the grid, Adam, in your eyes.
For that.
You haven't said it. You haven't said it yet, but you were dying to say it all day, and you finally got to say it. Finally got it out there. So Andrew Malloy, you've got the best looking car on the grid in the eyes of our lovely Adam here. So come here, Adam, we could see a Malloy final. You might get to see those 2 cars up against each other in the final, because Peter's on the left of the bracket, Andrew's on the right. They're both still in competition. I think they were 4th and 6th in the championship respectively. Andrew is 4th and Peter is 6th. So look, this is still all to play for in the championship. Jamie. Something has somebody's not put down their bonnet pins.
No, Mike, unfortunately not.
Somebody's not put down their bonnet pins, or the bonnet pins left go, and Jamie Hynes' bonnet unfortunately gets folded straight over the roof. It's a fiberglass bonnet, thankfully. It's not a very expensive metal S14 bonnet, I would say, by the looks of it. Hopefully.
Mike, please explain what will happen in the situation. Is it still just a restart, or is it counted as 0 now for Jamie?
We've seen so many drivers stay going in this situation because there'll be a little bit of a gap down underneath the bonnet at the base of the windscreen where you can kind of see out. Jamie Hynes, I don't think that it just looks like the hinges were a little bit low, and as you can see, guys, round of applause for young Jamie Hynes there. Out of the car, unfortunately, bonnet came up and the pins maybe not just secured there, but all is good. He's fine. That maybe a broken windscreen in that car, but I think the worst case scenario there is a new bonnet and possibly a windscreen. So the scenario is going to be it's a 0. It's going to be a 0 for Jamie Hynes, because that is essentially his own issue, his own fault. The run stopped. It was a run-defining moment and caused by Jamie Hynes. So it's going to be a 0 for Jamie Hynes, meaning
very unfortunate.
Andrew Malloy, in the, if you want to call it that, very good looking, of course, underpowered BMW, now with half the horsepower of most of the grid.
Look at this, Mike. Look at this.
Excellent.
Young Jamie Hynes. Not that there's much weight in the young fella, but he's out there. He's jumping on top. He's like, I'll fix this. What a character.
Yeah, much to the delight of everyone here, guys, and the judges in the tower getting it done. Guys, round of applause for Jamie Hynes there, fixing the car on track.
What a character of a young guy.
Thank you, guys. And what a character of a young fella. And yeah, just that's drifting, I suppose, but she's back, she's mint again. I'm not sure if the windscreen is broken or not. We'll have a look. But that's broken. That's a broken windscreen. So if anybody has an S14 windscreen there on Irish drifting community, you can offer it to the Hyneses there, and they'll be delighted at that one. If you want to make a quick sale there, I'm sure they'll take it from you. So
we know a guy looking for one, yeah.
Yeah, moving along to the second half of the battle. Hopefully now we can have a look at this, and of course sometimes it can be one of those things that I'm not sure now if one of the pins just kind of vibrated there and or something. Possibly the pins can vibrate as well, but usually they're quite secure because they're wedged up against their bonnet pin, and in the heat of the moment in the pits, somebody can put down the bonnet. Maybe they'd be putting down the bonnet, get distracted. Maybe there's something on the roof of the car, or somebody calls them, or there's something else needing their attention. They forget that they didn't tie the bonnet pins. Car goes out, big panic on, burnout box, run. and then the next thing the bonnet comes up. So
Absolutely, Mike. I must say so myself. My first ever track day that I done down in 360 Motorsport, where they actually hold drift experiences and beginner days, learner days and stuff like that, hosted by one of our judges, Tom Murphy. I had the exact same issue. I went out in the car, so nervous, a bag of nerves, straight down the back straight. I was like, right, so here I go, I'm going to send it in, don't know how to drift, I'll figure it out anyways as we go. No, to stop at him, the bonnet's right in front of you. I was like, I'm not chancing this. So it could happen to anyone.
It can happen, yeah, exactly. Absolutely, it can happen to the best of us. Several clips online. Damien Mulvey, second time in conversation, continued his run once in qualifying with the bonnet up. Jack Shanahan just did it as well. A couple of weeks ago there, like really recently, Jack Shanahan completed a run.
Drift Masters.
Was it Drift Masters?
Drift Masters in Modelo, through practice.
Yeah, so it is possible. Now, Jamie Hynes, can he do anything here? Andrew Malloy, pretty much all he has to do is make it around the track. It's not like either of the Malloys to make a mistake here, but Andrew Malloy is very close to booking his place in tomorrow's competition as well. And the final 4 here into the semi-finals, and that all-important 2 shots at a podium, or 2 shots at a 2 shots at a podium, 2 shots at a trophy. Andrew Malloy pretty much doing everything right, and you know what? He's never going to get phased. He's a cool customer. Andrew Malloy, we don't really have to wait for the judges for that one, I would say. It's going to be pretty obvious, and he just did everything right. Fair play. Jamie Hynes doing a good chase there, but wasn't enough to put off Andrew Malloy and forced him into a mistake.
Absolutely, so unfortunate. The young Jamie Hynes definitely had an opportunity to make his way higher in the ranks today, but he definitely has something to be proud of. He put down some great runs today, top qualifying at the time of his qualifying, still qualified very high, but unfortunately this battle didn't go his way down to the bonnet flapping up in him. So our winner of that will be going to Andrew Malloy in quite a good looking car.
Yeah, good looking car actually.
Yeah, it's not bad. I've never seen it before. For anyone that knows me or that's wondering, I don't actually know Andrew or anything. I just really like that guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love the 26, they're class.
So guys, if you are watching online there, bear in mind this is Pro 2 competition. We will be back for Pro competition tomorrow, and Andrew Malloy, of course, just to confirm, does indeed go through to the final 4. Now, before we get to Pro competition, one of these 2 guys will be booking their place in Pro competition tomorrow by getting to the final 4. Leaving the line, it is Clark Hatton, just north of Belfast. Against the Midlands man, it is dangerous, Declan Byrne. And a big entry there from Hatton. Declan Byrne though is right on him here. Lovely transition there from Byrne to find the door of the M2 BMW on the other side there, Adam. Bit shallow from Byrne though.
Absolutely, Mike, I agree with you. Look at his run from Clark Hatton in the lead position, fulfilling all the zones best he can. Oh, nearly a bit too much from Declan Byrne. That could be a deciding factor for them. He makes a dive, but it was a bit too much. Nearly clipping the front tyre of that car, but he saves it just in time. You're right here, Mike, as we see the replay, it is a bit shallow from Declan Byrne.
Yeah, really nice. Like, Clark slows up quite a lot there just to get the car settled on the wall, which is okay. It's a decel zone. You know, Declan, he's not too bad there. It looked worse on the drone shot, actually. No, Clark is on a really nice line there. Declan puts it right on the front wheel and gets a little bit caught and drops wheels as a result on the transition. Judges won't crucify him for that because he's the chase car and he just needed that room to rotate because of the proximity. So yeah, I think it's possibly tiny advantage Byrne here because of that proximity, but it wouldn't be a big one by any means because it was a really nice lead from Clark as well. No mistakes as such, so it might be.
We don't know, Mike, but we're going to find out.
Yeah,
now.
it might be dead
Declan
even
Byrne.
actually.
It could be a 5-5. Declan Byrne is in the lead position. He's a hard charger. He knows how to drive. Look at him. He's a bit shallow for zone 1, unfortunately, but so is Clark Hatton. Proximity is not as tight as it was last time, but Declan Byrne is pushing that car around as best as he can. Look at this for a line, Mike. Clark Hatton is just getting lost behind him, unfortunately. He doesn't seem to have the pace. Look at that for commitment from Declan Byrne around zone 4. Loads of angle. Clark Hatton nearly touching wheels, but doesn't. Oh, Mike, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I think it all fell apart a little bit for Clark there around the second zone. Byrne there, I think he just touched the wall. Did we see some bodywork popping up there? But Clark just seeming to lose proximity around the second zone, and we can confirm going through to the final 4. It's Declan Byrne goes through to the final 4, and Clark bows out in the top 8. He'll still be happy. It's a testing year for him. Up and coming driver, of course, and he is always cementing himself as one of the guys to watch in the future. But facing off against Andrew Malloy will indeed be Declan Byrne. So that is our right-hand side of the battle bracket actually already decided. So it's Andrew Malloy versus Declan Byrne in the semi-final on the right-hand side. We have to go back to the left-hand side of the bracket now. We gave Dean Davey a chance to get his car sorted after his one more time at the end of the battle bracket, and he faced off against the other Malloy brother. It's Peter Malloy on the lead line.
Absolutely, Mike. It could be the case we end up seeing the two Malloy brothers in the final today. We don't know. Both of them could end up reaching the top 4 and getting into a podium spot. We're not too sure. Either way, it's Dean Davey and Peter Malloy. Peter Malloy in the lead position. Look at the flick from this BMW, but Dean Davey is matching it. Bit too much from Dean Davey, coming off track, dropping all 3 wheels, if not 4. And Peter Malloy is not letting that affect him. He's like, I don't care what's going on behind me. I'm still putting down the best run possible. I'm impressing the judges. But Dean Davey's like, no, come back here. I'm getting on that door. Trying to final transition before they go into zone 4. Dean Davey just a small bit shallow and a very deep line from Peter Malloy. Wow,
yeah,
a small bit scrappy, Mike.
Is it the old story of the turtle versus the rabbit here? Is the turtle the slow and steady one? It's not. He's not slow by any means, but is the steady way of doing things just going to win here? He's just going to get there by not making mistakes. Everybody that he's coming up against is trying this, they're trying that, they're being aggressive, and it's just not working out because he's just not making mistakes. He's not letting the door open for a win through a mistake.
So
the Malloy's folks are here actually. I saw them earlier on, so they're going to be absolutely loving life. So it looks like that their other son has one foot in the door of the other semi-final. So yeah, this is very interesting. But Dean Davey there, look, he knew he had to give it his all. He knew Malloy wasn't going to make a mistake. He says, I have to win this through sheer and utter aggression. It might not have paid off. Let's see what happens.
Absolutely, Mike. 2 very consistent drivers. We're about to see it again. But the power gap is really showing here now, as Peter Malloy is really shallow for zone 1, and Dean Davey put on the best line he possibly can. A bit wobbly around zone 2 there, going in too far and then coming out shallow. But Peter Malloy is there with him, quite consistent. Zone 4, that's where everyone messes up. Peter Malloy is shallow, but he makes it work, Mike.
Yeah, I think that was just a textbook safe chase there. I mean, Davey doing as the Davies do, as you said.
Doing the Davey do it?
Yeah, absolutely, Adam. Just as you said there, that's how they do it. But I don't think it was enough because Malloy, he knew when to slightly apply a bit of pressure and he knew when to ease off. Guys, round of applause for Dean Davey and Peter Malloy. Last battle of the Grade 8, and advancing it is indeed. Peter Malloy advances to the Final 4, and he will face off against Alex Butler there in the Final 4. So a huge weekend here for the Malloys.
Absolutely, Mike. Completely wild one. This is our first top 4 this season, if I'm correct saying, without one of the Davey brothers in it.
I'm not sure on that statistic now. We can go back and check for sure, but it is definitely a Final 4 with the Malloy brothers in it, that's for sure.
Absolutely. And once again, don't forget, we are running a bit of a vote in the comments of the live stream to see who our hard charger of round 4 2025 will be. So whoever you think is your hard charger of this round, do please comment them below. It doesn't matter if they've already been knocked out of competition and they got knocked out in the top 32. Leave their name in the comments below, and the staff here at IDS will be racking up the votes, and at the end of the day the hard charger will be receiving a trophy and the opportunity to get a few snaps, a new profile picture holding this trophy.
Absolutely. So we are getting them gridded, just waiting now for Peter Malloy. He might need tyres, possibly need tyres. That BMW, one of the beauties of course of that naturally aspirated BMW power is it's not an absolute tyre killer. The wheel speed isn't as crazy as the turbo cars. The gearing, it won't be hitting as high wheel speed, and therefore it actually won't be like absolutely obliterating tyres like the higher powered and the higher torque turbo and V8 cars will.
Absolutely, Mike, and we're really seeing it today. The championship is really being mixed up. before we head into our final. This was the final round before our final, so there's only one round left in each category of the Pro 2s and the Pro 1s for the 2025 season, and that will be taking place in Watergrass Hill in Cork on the 23rd and 24th of August for the Pro 2 final. That'll be an absolutely wild day, Mike.
Yeah.
How close things are at the moment, it could go anyway.
Literally just looking at it here, guys. Andrew Malloy was 4th on 159 points coming into this round. Jake Davey, who bowed out in the top 32, had 201 points. There's 100 points available for a win, and it whittles down into, as you go down through the battle brackets, down to about 30 points. So if we say Jake Davey between qualifying and everything is on 230, 235-ish. Andrew Malloy and Peter Malloy are now actually in around, roughly around the 210 mark-ish already, 210, 220. So they're actually right on the heel of Davey as they stand in the bracket. So that means that pretty much Jake Davey, Danny Devine, Dylan Wilson, Andrew Malloy, Peter Malloy, and if he keeps going, Alex Butler, and maybe even on an outside Jake McElveen, will all have a realistic chance, like a really realistic chance of winning this championship. Jake McElveen, he would probably have to have a really big round and things to go his way. But Jake Davey, Danny Devine, Dylan Wilson, Andrew Malloy, Peter Malloy, and Alex Butler will all be in with a very realistic shot of winning this championship at the next round, and it's all going to come down to that. And I don't remember a championship that was that open. It's usually down to 2 or 3 at most.
Absolutely, Mike. We've seen it before, even within Drift Masters, the top scale of drifting. We've seen drivers basically being announced the winner of their series early on, 2 or 3 rounds before the final rounds. But here in the Pro 2 category of the Irish Drift Series, it really shows what the talent is like. It's showing that these are the future stars of Irish drifting. They're so close. They're all fighting for that top spot. They want to make their way into the Pro 1 category for next year. They want to make their names a household name in the Irish drifting community.
They absolutely do, and I'm just looking here as well. Declan Byrne was on 113 points. Should he win the competition today, then that'll put him on, assuming he didn't get any points in qualifying. I'd have to look back on that one, but I can't see it here actually because it's on our battle sheet. Declan Byrne qualified in 14th, so no points for Declan Byrne in qualifying, but should Declan Byrne win the competition, that makes him on 213 points. So he also would be right on the tail of Jake Davey at that stage, should he win today's competition. So basically the 4 guys left in here all were like rank outsiders for the championship coming into this round. But the fact now that all the top 3 have bowed out relatively early, or very early in the case of Jake Davey, basically it just means that the championship has just gotten blown completely wide open, and the top 4 left here, Butler, Malloy, Byrne, all were rank outsiders, but now are not. They're now directly back in the championship race coming into the final round. I can't wait till the Hynes tot this up during the week and actually get the championship bracket up there with the points, because I think it's going to be literally separated. The top is going to be separated by like 30 points.
It's going to be crazy, Mike. Things are so close at the moment, and all could change. We never know what way it's going to go. But like, even the 4 drivers are coming into our top 4 today, our drivers we did not expect to be really making it this far. Not because they didn't have the skill or the talent to do it. They 110% do. But there's so many other drivers out there that are already and consistently always making the podium spots this year, and they're all lower in the bracket this time around.
Yeah, absolutely. So crazy stuff here as always. Pro 2's sending the entertainment your way here, guys. Always so good to watch. Obviously the pro guys are the top in the country, and they have the machinery, they have the tyre, and they are the best in the business. But the Pro 2 class cannot be rivaled for sheer and utter entertainment and sheer and utter surprises every round. Absolutely love it, to be honest. So always very interesting. And once again, get your hard charger votes in on the YouTube comments, and we will tot those up and get them on the podium. They're in about, I would say, 20-25 minutes time, and we are going to, I'm just hearing as Peter Malloy is changing tyres, we're going to run the battle on the right hand side of the bracket first, in the interest of keeping the show going, between Andrew Malloy and Declan Byrne. That will be our first battle to run.
This will be an interesting one now, Mike, so if I say so myself. Declan Byrne, a bit more of a wilder driver, I would say. Andrew Malloy, a very consistent and tame.
And a nice car as well.
Tame driver, sorry.
You okay there, Adam?
Yeah, throat got chalked up. It's all the tyre smoke.
Well, yeah, it's all the tyre smoke. Once again, guys, if you want to catch Adam DJing out in Ibiza, get to Shenanigans. You're heading out Monday morning in a storm. You feel great about that, flying on a plane in the storm Monday.
I'm bricking it.
Yeah.
Bricking it would be the correct term.
You told me.
I don't like playing. I don't like going up. I like things with 4 wheels.
Yeah, same. Or 2 wheels. I'm good with 2 wheels.
I'll be more of a 4-wheel man.
Okay, staying on the ground is good.
Staying on the ground and being safe is always a good one.
Poor Adam is flying out in a storm on Monday to Ibiza. So if you're out for a holiday, head over to Shenanigans over there and look out for the red-haired fella.
The red-haired fella probably have red skin as well.
Red skin fella
over there.
Yeah, exactly. So we are ready to rock, guys, with our first semi-final here at IDS Round 4 2025 in Pro 2 action, and we are in the semi-final. It's Andrew Malloy to lead in Declan Byrne. What's going to happen here? It's consistency versus wildness. Which one is going to come out on top?
Absolutely, Mike. Andrew Malloy in that absolutely amazing looking car, but Declan Byrne, a great driver, great character. Mike, look at that proximity around zone 2. How can they be separated? This is going to be an interesting one. Look at the dive from Declan Byrne. I say you just put a small mark on Andrew Malloy's car. Gap opens up a bit for zone 4. The pace there, Mike, wow.
Do you know what impresses me here about Byrne? Malloy, number one, giving that pretty much perfect lead line, so he's going to... There's only so much damage Byrne can do to him with that run because his lead was so good. But what impresses me, if you watch the replay back here, is that I thought Byrne overcommitted just before the last transition. He almost did, and I said he's in trouble here. He's going to go to the inside, but he somehow manages to just get the back of it lit up and the opposite lock dialed on to get the car to step almost dead sideways over onto the quarter of Malloy again. I thought that he was going to end up very much on the inside of the track because he rotated quite severely, but he actually got it sorted. So big props, to be fair, to Declan Byrne there now as a driver, just managed to get that one sorted out. He got himself into a situation, but it's still all to play for here. Malloy really has to do something here though, Adam.
Absolutely, Mike. This time Declan Byrne's in the lead. A bit more proximity between the two drivers, but it's not as smooth and fluent as it was last before. I'm not too sure if Declan Byrne just dropped a small bit of a tyre there on zone 2, but Andrew Malloy is playing it safe. He's trying to match the angle of the lead driver as best he can. A bit shallow for zone 4 by Andrew Malloy, but a great run overall.
Yeah, the judge is watching back the replay on this one, but I think, I don't know, I think Byrne might have this one, to be honest. Like, okay, so if we're robbed of the Malloy final, okay, terrible, it's a pity and all that. However, the upshot of it is that Declan Byrne, who was sitting well outside in the championship, he was 6, 7, 8, 9. He was 10th in the championship coming in, tied 10th with Navitzkos. He might now put himself in contention for a championship win if he continues to charge here.
Wild, Mike. Absolutely wild.
Like 10th coming out of round 3, and he does. Declan Byrne goes through. Wow, Declan Byrne books his place in the final. Andrew Malloy will be sent into the 3rd, 4th place playoff. We might still see that Malloy battle in the 3rd, 4th place playoff, but let's say nothing because Alex Butler and Peter Malloy is now going to run, and there will be fireworks in this one. I think on paper, in terms of machinery, this might be slightly closer than the battle we've just seen as well, but Declan Byrne there doing a fantastic chase, and if Byrne wins this event, he is right back in the championship hunt in Watergrass Hill in a few weeks' time.
That's going to be absolutely wild, Mike. I cannot wait to experience that, and especially if you are interested in seeing it as well. It's going to be a wild weekend. Make sure to head down to Watergrass Hill, 23rd and 24th, if I'm correct in saying. It'll be a wild weekend, so it will. Either way, we're going to get into our next battle, our second semi-final. It's Alex Butler and Peter Malloy, the second of the Malloy brothers. A Pro 2 junior versus a Pro 2 over ice driver. First up in the lead position will be Alex Butler, who's top qualifying today, been doing great all day. As I said, it could be his weekend, and we're about to find out, Mike.
Yeah, we are. Lights go green. Kevin leaves them off. Alex Butler flicks it in. Mangy entry. Beautiful from both drivers here now. We're really liking that from Malloy as well. Malloy not giving him an absolute inch here. And now Butler's into the corner. Butler drops a wheel. Malloy's right there. Malloy has to just adjust a small bit, but the judges will deem that in favour of the chase car because it was Butler's mistake. Now Malloy is right there with him. Butler drops a wheel slightly again, maybe gets away a little bit, and they cross the line.
Absolutely, Mike. The second half of that run, a small bit scrappy from Alex Butler, but it was not bad at all. Still a great run, a great line, a very chaseable, as we can see the Malloy brother pushing right up there. You said this was going to be close. I did not think it was going to be this close, both physically and technically. Both drivers putting everything on the line. They want a spot on the podium today.
Yeah, wouldn't you, Adam? I mean, it's hard to get trophies in IDS. It's very, very hard to get to them at all. It's hard to qualify in Pro 2, to be honest, with the amount of cars and the amount of talent on the grid. And a lot of people will be just delighted to qualify in this class, never mind get a podium. So these guys are fighting tooth and nail to get their hands on the piece of silverware, which we will be giving out in about 15 minutes' time, guys. And you're more than welcome, of course, to join us on track for that. But it is the second half of the semi-final here. Now it's Malloy to lead us in.
Malloy leads us in with Alex Butler on the chase position. Look at this, right up on the door. A great line from the lead driver Malloy. Peter Malloy pushing that car to the edge of the circuit. Doesn't drop a tyre where Alex Butler does, but Alex Butler is on his door. These cars are duplicating each other. How are you going to separate this one, Mike? Is it going to be a one more time? I'm not too sure. Look at this run from Peter Malloy. Oh, a bit of contact there across the line.
Love
a bit
that.
of contact. You love to see it.
You love to see that.
Love to
Guys,
see it.
round of applause. What a run. This is one of the best Pro 2 championships in the world. It has been with years. It continues to be. And you know what? The system works. It brings drivers up through the ranks. It gives them a chance to progress in their own classes. And eventually we get to see battles like this in our Pro 2 class, which is absolutely crazy.
Absolutely wild, Mike. Is it going to be Alex Butler's weekend, or will the Malloy brother be taking a spot on the podium? We're about to find out. We can see our judges here beside us, as you always describe him as, like gold staring into a washing machine. That's a line I'm always going to hold on to, because that's hilarious. Either way, they're watching the replay, trying to figure out where there was mistakes and who is caused by. Peter Malloy had a very, very clean.
Sorry, I'm making faces here that I'm mimicking the face that a goat looking into a washing machine would make here in the background, if you're wondering why Adam is laughing. But yeah, let's get back to the drifting there. I don't know. It's a very, very close one. I mean, Butler really got the proximity around zone 2 here. Like Malloy then, as usual, doing Malloy things. They're just so copy and paste from their last run. It's so great to watch them. They just literally do the same run every time. And Butler had a great chase, but I don't know. I think Malloy had a better lead overall.
I would agree so too, in ways, Mike. Alex Butler unfortunately did drop tyres on zone 2, so that could be a massive deciding factor towards the judges, but they're really paying attention.
Yeah, but he had the aggression, and the aggression paid off, because we do have a result, guys. Going through to the final, it's Alex Butler goes through to the final.
Look at the cheers and hear them from the crowd, Mike.
Yeah, that aggression there, just in the chase position, just paying off. I mean, a very, very close one. So that means we will have a Malloy battle. We will be treated to it. And yeah, so super close one there on that. So yeah, since we have a hot minute, guys, that one was very close. I think it could have been called either way. So since we have a hot minute, while the cars are getting retired and refueled, Kieran Hynes, super tight battle there between Alex and Peter. But overall, you guys went for Alex to win that one. Can you explain to us why, please?
Yeah, look, it was very, very close, and you're at the point now where you're looking for small little differences. I think if you compare the two runs, Peter had to sacrifice a little bit more than Alex did to keep proximity. Alex had proximity quite easily and maintained it quite well, especially on the far down corner there, the 180 corner at the very end. Whereas Peter kind of got in, stabbed in at the start, then fell out a little bit, kind of got it again, and that was the trailer run. It's the same with the clipping point across from us here. Peter, again, he was kind of on less angle while chasing, so he was having to kind of hang on to the coattails of Alex, and I think that's the power difference basically. And there was just enough there for us to make a call, but a close one.
Thank you very much, Kieran. Yeah, nice to get an explanation of that one, because it did look like a very, very close battle for sure. So thank you for explaining that one in the interest of transparency here at IDS, and that is it. Angle obviously matters a lot as well. You have to match the angle, and maybe horsepower came into it a little bit. Alex there with turbo BMW power, Peter with naturally aspirated BMW power, obviously giving away maybe 100, 120 or 30 horsepower to Alex there. Maybe it was just enough of a difference between both cars. I mean, the Malloys can make the NA cars work so good, but maybe at that stage they were just out of legs that little bit and had to sacrifice a couple of bits. So, yeah. But we are going to be treated now to a double BMW battle. The Malloy brothers get to face off against each other in their home territory, and they are literally like 20 minutes from home.
Absolutely wild. So at least we know one of the Malloy brothers will be making a podium again this weekend.
I think we should have a forfeit for this one, though. I mean, somebody needs to have a title, a king of the house or something for like a week, or maybe Peter has to do the washing up for a week if he loses, or vice versa, something like that.
Something along them lines.
Yeah.
Like when you're handing out the dinner after, making the beds.
Make
that's
the bunk.
a great
The two boys actually have bunk beds. Not many people know this. So Andrew and Peter sleep in bunk beds. So maybe Peter have to make the bed if Andrew wins, and vice versa.
I heard that it was like them beds you get that are shape of cars. I thought it was two of them, and actually they're actually at an angle slightly in the room, so it looks like they're.
Oh, they're twinning. Oh yeah, maybe that's
what it is.
It's something. Yeah, that's it actually.
One's red,
it's two
one's
of
purple.
the Kitus car beds, and one is red and one is purple. Yeah, like they're real cars.
Yeah,
and they put a BMW badge on them.
I'm just saying that's what I heard. I'm not saying it's true, but
the beds
could be. It could not.
The bed's at an awful angle in the room. You can hardly get into the room because the beds are thrown at an angle. Well, that could be the Malloy. We don't know. We might call to them on the way home tomorrow night. Just check this out. Might get it on the gram, IDS Instagram. We'll see. Can't confirm that, but we'll see. We'll try. But yeah, so that means that we have a finalist on the line. Guys, it always slows down a little bit at this part of the evening because obviously the tyres have to be put on rims, or wheels have to be changed. At least the tyres should be on the rims already, hopefully. But wheels have to be changed, cars have to be refueled, and that is basically how it goes. So we will have, first of all, an all Malloy third, fourth place playoff. There's only one trophy available, and unfortunately it is one of the two brothers will take it home, so this one is going to be interesting. Extremely closely matched cars on paper, and extremely closely matched drivers as well, I have to say, who are once again in the championship hunt. This couldn't have worked out any better for the championship, speaking of which, because Alex Butler and Declan Byrne were both a little bit under the Malloys in the championship, so they've both progressed a little bit more than the Malloys now, meaning that Davey, Devine, Wilson, Malloy, Butler and Byrne will all now be very, very, genuinely very close on points. So it's going to be crazy.
And they're all very much hard chargers and great talented. they're a great bunch of drivers as well, they are, and they're all going to charge hard in Watergrass Hill for the final.
Byrne, Malloy, that kind of sounds like solicitors or something. Or the accountants.
But it also sounds like an old country song or something.
Byrne, Malloy, does it? Okay.
Byrne Malloy by Malloy.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Or Malloy by Byrne.
Yeah. Don't know what country you're listening to, Adam, but yeah, okay. You won't be playing country in Ibiza, I take it.
You never know.
You never know. You wouldn't know. You might be.
I might just for you.
Yeah.
You know,
bit of timber by Kesha. But do you know what they'd be mad for there now actually to play? It'd be a bit of wagon wheel.
Bit of wagon wheel.
Yeah, just
a bit of Nate and Carter. Yeah, we're gonna go across the waters, one of the most designated party islands in the world, where you expect to see the biggest DJs in the world. You're going to see a burnt ginger lad playing wagon wheel.
Wagon wheel and Killa. A bit of Killa, yeah. A bit of Declan Ernie as well, yeah. A bit of Declan Ernie. Stop the world and let me off. They'd be mad for that. Like, they'd just get it going. Get it going there in the pizza. I'm telling you, like, I know these things. Like,
you should just come with me.
We
can be like Kevin and Perry.
I will not go with you. Adam and Mike go large. Adam and Mike go small.
Go medium at least.
Adam and Mike go medium. In a pizza. Adam and Mike go medium. It's kind of like a vlog about going to McDonald's or something.
It's like Podge and Rod or something.
The match of the Malloys, Nathan Rudd says in the comments, absolutely. Kieran Beans is right, Fujiroku. That's what we call him half the time. Yeah, great battle it was indeed, Jim. Alan Bean gets the vote for the hard charger. Yeah, Elmira Mark says, as a DJ, the only time you don't want a big drop is when you're flying. That's true, Adam.
That's very
You can
true.
think about that now when you're on the plane in the storm taking off there from Dublin on Monday. That'll be fantastic. Yeah, hope you're all enjoying the watch, lads. It's been definitely eventful, and it's been, as always, it's been action-packed. So once again, get in the comments, let us know who you want to win the hard charger, and be sure to tune in tomorrow as well for pro battle action. But you know what, we have more important things to do. This is for the last place on a hard-earned podium after a long day here in Bishopscourt. It's Malloy versus Malloy. It's Peter to lead in. Andrew, what's going to happen here, guys? Get ready to rock, because this is going to be a big one.
This is going to be a fun one, Mike. I'd say Malloy will win it, to be honest with you. Either way, it's Peter Malloy in the lead position first, followed by his brother Andrew Malloy. And look at this. You can tell they're both out there just having fun. They know each other's driving style. They both know they're very consistent. They know what they can do. Andrew Malloy having a bit of an issue there, stalling up just a small bit on the transition for zone 3, but gets back on the door. And
waving out the window.
Is he?
Both drivers waving out the window. Both brothers are having a blast. Their folks are here. Their friends are here. They're local men, and they're out here battling for a trophy and ideas. How much better can it get? I mean,
how much planning went into both of them waving out the window? There's
you
no
may-
way that's a
They probably just, well, I think Andrew might have seen Peter waving and he said, I can do that too, even though he made a massive mistake here by being over aggressive. But you were going to do that when you're battling your
I wonder
brother.
if they've swapped cars and not told us.
Yeah, if they swap cars, that'd be the ultimate mind game.
Absolutely.
Ultimate mind game. But I think they're probably in their own cars. But let's see. Imagine if they just did it between themselves and said, right, I'll drive yours, you drive mine, the best man wins. Fantastic.
How does that work out for Podium then? Who we giving it to?
Yeah, I don't know.
Half
but
and half.
The red car and the blue car had a race, and again, there is a rumour that they have matching beds in the bedrooms, the little, those car beds painted red and blue. Can't confirm or deny. We'll try and bring you that information, but we have the second half of the run ready to go.
Absolutely. This time it's Andrew Malloy in a beautiful E36 taking the lead position. He has a bit of a gap on proximity, but look, it's so consistent. What can we say, Mike? Two brothers putting out two very similar runs. It's like you literally just watching the last run over again, but this time there's no mistakes on zone 3. Peter Malloy is pushing as hard as he can to get up on his brother. Look at his arm out the window again, so he is cheering on the crowd, creating a bit of atmosphere. Absolutely wild. Give it up for the Malloy brothers.
Yeah, the crowd loving that. We're loving it. I mean, they're definitely making their name in the world of Irish drifting. Why wouldn't they? Look at this from Peter, especially in the chase position. I think Andrew stuck his hand out the window at the end, and Peter was a little bit too close to him, and he said, I'm not chancing it. So, great run there. So, guys, we're going to give the result of this one on the podium very soon, and we can announce that we do have a result. So, we do have a result between Peter and Andrew, and we will give that result on the podium just after the final here at IDS Round 4 in Bishopscourt, which has been a fantastic round.
I'll tell you the result. Malloy won it.
Malloy wins it in the BMW. Malloy wins it in the BMW, yeah, got it.
That's who it was. Just as to what
the
colour we
red
don't
car
know.
and the blue car had a race. So, guys, it is time almost for the last battle of the day before we head into pro action tomorrow. Remember, you will, if you liked what you've seen today and you're watching online or watching here, be sure to get here tomorrow or tune in online, because you will see these four drivers competing once again tomorrow. It's questionable whether the Malloys will decide to run semi-slick tyres or not. They have it in their locker to make them work, but they do grip up the car quite a lot. So the BMWs could struggle a lot then to maintain drift, especially in the chase position if things aren't perfect, if they have to adjust. So it'll remain to be seen whether they go on semi-slicks or not. But I think Alex Butler's car and Declan Byrne's car will have the legs for the semi-slicks. So we'll see what happens, but you will see these top four ready to rock for action tomorrow in the pro class.
Absolutely, be very entertaining to watch, Mike. As we said, the two Malloy brothers both have the opportunity to go through to the Pro 1s tomorrow. They're both two very calm and collected people, so I'm not too sure they're going to push them cars to the limits and bring them to the Pro 1s tomorrow with the semi-slicks on. They would be on a medium, if not low scale of power, I would imagine, on the grid compared to some of the cars we have here, and especially when it comes to what the pros have. So are they just going to play it safe and keep the cars? We don't know. But either way, it's time for the final.
It's time for the final, guys. These two gladiators have battled their way through the top 32 bracket in order to meet it in the final. They're guaranteed a trophy either way, but only one can stand on the top step. Will it be Declan Byrne with the wild entries, or will it be the young gun Alex Butler, top in qualifying? He's a junior driver. We're about to find out.
Absolutely, Mike. I said it earlier and I'll say it again. Could it be Alex Butler's weekend? But I also always say Declan Byrne has a really good opportunity of taking the podium. Look at this. Oh.
Yeah, huge.
There's a huge flick there from Alex Butler. It looks like it kind of upset like Declan Byrne. Declan Byrne looks like he swerved out away for it.
Yeah, wild initiation there. And we'll have to have a look back at that and have an investigation. Look at this though from Byrne. The proximity gets caught in the pocket though. Can he find it again? He can. It looks like Byrne definitely has the pace here over the BMW, Adam.
That was, I don't know what to say there, Mike. Alex Butler did give a bit of a wild initiation, a huge flick, and Declan Byrne reacted to it, but that didn't let him affect it. He was like, okay, this gun's still going. I'm still going for it. I'm going to try to get on the door of the young gun, Alex Butler. But is it going to be enough?
Yeah, well, we'll have to see. I mean, I don't know. It was Byrne in the wrong position as well. We'll have to roll that one back again, Roisin, if you know what I'm on about, saying that you're way too old. It's an old late show reference.
Too young, you're too old.
Yeah, I'm too old. You're too young. Sorry. No, but if you know what I'm on about, you're too old. Sorry. Watch this. More importantly, watch this now. Look. Okay. So Byrne is on his own side of the track, as in Watergrass Hill, the lead car is allowed 2/3 of the track. I mean, Butler. I don't know. I don't think he did anything.
Was it the case that Declan was about to initiate, or was it a case that he was like, oh God, he's about to swerve?
Yeah, it was definitely the latter. I mean, he definitely took evasive action here, and this might be a run deciding issue here. So let's just watch again. I mean, Butler, if you use that line of tar there as it runs down the runway. Okay, so Butler, I mean, I don't know. I don't think he's terribly over on the passage or on the chase side, but I do understand that he kind of makes a bit of a wild initiation. All right, yeah.
What I might say is maybe Declan Byrne thought they were both more right of the track, because we can see there, if you watch back the replay, Declan Byrne is eyes focused on Alex Butler, and maybe went to initiate because it's still very similar timing. Even in slow motion, we can see them both react at the exact same time, unless it's he thought he had to get out of the way, or is it not. Either way, we're going to go to our next run now. On track is Declan Byrne in the lead position. Huge flick entry, beautiful run through zone 1, and Alex Butler is there with him. Declan Byrne pushing it to the outer side of zone 2, trying to get away from the young gun Alex Butler. Alex Butler comes a bit shallow coming out of zone 2. For zone 3, Declan Byrne is there. He's making that car be where it needs to be, where the judges want to see it. Alex Butler is with him though. Oh, Mike, how do you separate this?
Yeah.
It's going to be down to, I think, to that initiation flick on the first run.
Yeah, well, that's the final in the bag, and it's going to be a definitely difficult one for the judges. It's going to come down to briefing, Adam. It's going to come down to what was said in driver's briefing this morning regarding the run-up, regarding the initiation. I know that in tracks like Watergrass Hill, where room is a little bit tight, that the rule is that the lead car has to stay within 2/3 of his own side of the track, as in Mallaloy Park as well. You can't cross over onto the chase side of the track. You have to give the chase car a free third of the track in order to make his initiation as well. So we'll have to go to the judges, guys. But that is the final in the books, and we just have to wait and see if we have a result, because it might go to one more time. It could be. Yeah, it could be one more time. So the judges watching the replay, guys, and it's been nothing but entertaining today. Thank you for sticking with us. And as always in Bishopscourt, it does run a little bit late because we can afford to run late here, because there is no curfew, thankfully, such as we have in Mallaloy Park. So there is no problem running a little bit later, and we usually tend to make the most of it, as it is 10 to 7 now.
Absolutely. There's no.
It's almost bedtime.
It's not for yourself, yeah, no, yeah. You've got to bring back to the old folks' home, sure. They're going to be looking for you.
They'll be looking for me, yeah. I bust out today for the drifting. So, yeah, let's see what the judges have to say about it, but it is definitely a run-defining moment, I think. But no, you know what? Maybe it's not. Maybe they just said, okay, Byrne got back into formation. It was.
Look, again, no, Mike, the judges have gone back to this point. I think this will be the deciding point of it. Actually, when you watch it back there, is that the line there, or is that just a line of tar?
It's just a line of tar in the runway.
So did he drop a tyre out?
I mean, you'd have to look back at several other ones like over the course of the day, but we are hearing, guys. Yeah, we are hearing, guys. We have a decision. We will announce the decision on the podium in about 5-10 minutes time. So we'll be making our way down onto the track. You are more than welcome to join the drivers on the track. You can go around the far side here, down by the runway. If you're looking at the track from the paddock, it's to the left, or it's at the far side if you're coming from the restaurant side, or down by the IDC tent. If you go to the far side of the track, you can make your way out through the fence there onto the track and join the drivers on the podium, and Yeah, we do have a result, so it's going to be an interesting one.
Mike. This will be interesting. I don't even know myself who it'll be. We're going to be given a sheet once we get down there and figure it out ourselves, so it's going to be a surprise for us as well. Once again, thanks again to everybody who came out in attendance here in Bishopscourt Diff and Drift, Northern Ireland's home of drifting. Make sure to check them out to see some open track days they have here along with drift experiences. And once again, a huge thanks to all our sponsors, especially our title sponsors, Red Bull Energy and Lucky Day Competitions. Mike and Eddie will be here with you tomorrow. They'll be commentating for the Pro1 Championship. That'll be a wild day. That'll be jam-packed with entertainment. And if you thought things were crazy today, you're going to see crazy things tomorrow. My name's Adam Driver. I was joined by Mike Fitz. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you on the podium.
This is how we do. That's me. That's right. That's me. That's right. That's me. Damn right. It's how we do. That's me. That's right. That's me. That's right. That's me. Damn right.
Bishopscourt. Thanks for sticking with us. As always, lads, we're gone nice and late in the evening. I do believe that there was a little bit of a shipping issue with the Red Bull podium, so it's been there's a bit of a compromise going on, but it's quite apt. It's a tire podium, so it looks pretty cool. So that's why the Red Bull podium isn't here. There was just a bit of a logistics issue with that one, so we have a makeshift podium for this round. So guys, thank you once again. As you all saw, it was a fantastic evening's drifting, hard charging from the get-go, and just such a fantastic event overall. I mean, the level of talent, especially up through the junior class, is absolutely crazy here in Ireland. So the future is bright. Well done to all involved, all crews, all drivers. It's just been a fantastic day, and we're going to do it all over again tomorrow, even bigger and better. So to kick off, guys, and I do believe we have a hard charger award as well, if I'm not mistaken, possibly. But what we're going to do tomorrow, okay, hard chargers being done tomorrow. So guys, we are straight into our podium celebrations, and as always, we're starting with the junior classes. Once again, 13 to 16 years of age, the future of Irish drifting and European drifting, quite possibly as well, because we seem to have a habit of sending people out foreign and then doing not too bad. So in third position, guys, to kick us off for the podium in the junior class, let's hear it for Jake Davey. Quite possibly still leading the Pro2 class, but it is super tight at the top. In second position, guys, in the junior class, a big round of applause. His bonnet hit the windscreen, but he kept going. It's young Jamie Hynes. And in first position, as the lads get the champers ready early, in first position, guys, let's hear a huge round of applause, winning the junior class today at IDS round 4. Let's hear it. Premature. For Alex Butler. It's okay, Alex, it's safe. Guys, let's hear it for Jake Davey, Jamie Hynes and Alex Butler, your junior podium placers today. We might hold off on the champagne till all three are on the podium next time. Poor Alex. Right guys, moving on to the rookie class. First time IDS competitors are competitors who have not qualified for a twin battle in the past. So once again, want to hear huge support for these. Once again, they are the future of Irish drifting. In third position, putting in some fantastic qualifying laps in the BMW. Let's hear it for David Flaherty. No champagne yet, no. We know what happened last time. In second position, this young fella is just up and coming, getting better and better. Let's hear it for Bartek Blejetski! Which means that you're winner of the rookie class at IDS Round 4 2025. Let's hear it for the only man who's ever made an MX-5 work. It's Nathan Walsh! Hey! Oh guys, fantastic podium. Let's hear it once again guys for the one and only Dave Flaherty, Bartek Blejetski and Nathan Walsh, your Pro2 rookie podium placers, which means that we got to move it along to the Pro2 outright class guys, and a fantastic day's drifting once again. Everybody gave it their all, and we have seen, genuinely have seen this championship blown completely wide open. We came into this round with Jake Davey with a healthy enough lead. That lead has been eroded, and I think we were making it out upstairs really quick, and I think there's 6 or 7 drivers who have a quite easy chance of taking this championship. So this is wide open coming into Watergrass Hill in 3 weeks' time, so be sure to get yourself down there. It is going to be crazy. So in fourth position, with the forfeit being that the loser does the washing up and the laundry for the week over the road in the Malloy household, we can announce in fourth position, let's hear it for Andrew Malloy. Which means that the man in third position, driving the wheels off his BMW all day. Give it up for the one, the only, it's Peter Malloy in third. And so on to the biggest result of the day, guys. It was a tight final, separated by very little, apparently. The judges tell me, little bit of controversy at the start. Judges not seeing a lot wrong with it, I'm told. So that means that in second position, and I'm just going to double check this again. Don't I do a Morris Welch in it? In second position, meaning that this championship is blown wide open. Your second position at IDS Round 4 Pro 2. Give it up for dangerous Declan Byrne. Declan looks shook after the day. So once we have the pictures ready, guys, and all good, I do believe that it's time to announce your winner of IDS Pro 2 Round 4 2025. Let's hear it for the one, for the only. He drove the wheels off his BMW all day, and his name is Alex Butler! So guys, after a great podium, that concludes us for the Saturday of round 4. We'll be doing it all day tomorrow, once again for Pro Action. And remember, the top 4 from today, so these 4 guys, the 2 Malloys, Declan and Alex, will be back in action for Pro tomorrow. We're kicking it all off again with qualifying starting at 12 o'clock. Once again, guys, thank you so much for joining us here on the Saturday. Enjoy the celebrations tonight. It's always a good night here at Bishopscourt, and we will see you tomorrow morning. Thank you.